Start yet. All right. Go live. We'll try this. I'm live. It says I'm live. It should just be the picture. All right. Uh, I don't know if I probably should go on. If anyone's out there and watching this and can hear me, let me know that you can hear me. Otherwise, uh, let me figure out. Video capture? Oh, that's it? You could probably see that scene change, right? Maybe? I don't even know. Uh, you're all learning with me as I have never live streamed anything before. Add existing Discord? Hey, maybe people can hear me now. I have no idea. This is really just a crapshoot here. They probably can now because I added Discord as an audio source. Or I added Discord as some sort of source. Though for all I know, it's actually seeing Discord. I don't think so. Um, yeah, so if people can hear me, if anyone in the chat can hear me, just like type that you can hear me, and then I will know. And then from there, we can maybe start getting started. But we'll see. I'm gonna give it a second. I know you can hear me, but can you hear you? Oh, we can hear you. Awesome. Okay. So, hi everyone. My name is Brian Arsham. I am the Buggy Alumni Association archivist. Um, in case you can't tell from all of this, I have never done a live stream before. So the likelihood that things go very, very wrong and have all sorts of technical issues, uh, likelihood's pretty high. The good news is we're talking Raceday 2001, so tech issues are going to be a common theme, not just for this broadcast, but for the actual videos. So I figured just to get us started, just a quick introduction onto what's going on here. Um, so we're doing a Raceday rewatch for Raceday 2001. We started these Raceday rewatches back in when COVID shut things down back in 2020, part of the 100 Years of Buggy History series. Once we got to like 2012, 2013, people were locked at home doing nothing. We're like, hey, why don't we just rewatch some races every week? So we did that from 2012 through 2019. Those videos are all up on YouTube if you want to watch the rewatches, but we've also got the heats broken up. So we decided, it's been a few years, but we figured, you know what, let's bring that back and have some midsummer fun here, talking Buggy at a time that we don't normally talk Buggy. This whole thing is very informal, in case that hasn't been apparent by the early discussions. Um, if you were a part of Race Day in 2001, or you just want to chime in, you're just a Buggy person who wants to chime in and be on the broadcast, just jump into the Discord. We're in a just the general chat, the audio. Feel free to join us there. I've got Matt Galabreeze here. I don't know if he wants to actually be on the live stream, but if he does, he can say hi. There you go. So yeah, this is all very informal. Basically, the run of show today, if you will, is I got a playlist here for Race Day 2001. I'm gonna press play. We're gonna watch a bunch of races. We're gonna watch some interviews, some packages that they did back in 2001, and I'll be talking through it. Hopefully, some people may join at some point if you were there in 2001, or just again, if you just want to chat, feel free in the YouTube chat, in the Discord chat, or if you want to actually be on the live stream, we'll talk there. So, and then if you're seeing things and you're like, hey, I missed that, can you rewind it or like pause it? I want to see that again. Just let me know. Again, it's very informal. We're just going to go through. Feel free to jump in and out as you please. I think the total length of this playlist is probably it's about an hour 45 for all the heats, give or take. Hour 40, hour 45, and then another like 45 minutes of packages. I don't expect everyone to stick around the whole time, but feel free to jump in, jump out. CMUBuggy.org will have what is essentially the schedule for this, because we're going in the actual race order. So if you go to cmubuggy.org, you can go to the history tab. If you go to races in 2001, you can see the prelims heats and the finals heats. So with that said, let me give you a little background on Raceday 2001 and this project as a whole. So last year, BAA Broadcast Committee Chair and cmuTV alum Matt Galabrise, who is in the chat here, found a bunch of tapes in the cmuTV basement labeled 2001. So he grabbed them. We had them digitized, and over the past 6 months or so, we've been cutting them together into all of the individual heats. So what you're going to see is, luckily, all of the actual heats, which is nice. And the oh, by the way, let me just add, if you're in the Discord, if you can either mute the stream or mute the Discord, one of the two, because there's probably feedback. Thank you. Okay. All right. So it's going to look a little bit different than the current iteration of cmuTV and heat videos, if you will. So if you're someone who's watched the broadcast in recent years, you'll know there's roughly, I think, 8 static cameras plus an overhead camera at the finish line, plus 1 or 2 roving cameras from time to time. We're going to have different cameras. We're going to have also lead truck and follow truck footage, which we don't usually get. But for 2001, a lot of this footage is going to be from the lead truck and the follow truck. We are going to have static cameras around the course, depending on the races. We also have something a little unexpected, which is the original cmuTV commentary. There's 2 audio sources for this. One is the actual commentary that cmuTV did. One is from the lead truck video. We have the people in the lead truck who were talking. So some of this video, some of the audio probably was never intended to be publicly made available, but we're doing it anyway because this was 23 years ago, and honestly, some of it's fun. Yeah, Tom Keller, the play-by-play was so-so. I think so-so is an understatement. So that's what we have. We've got the full heats from start to finish of all 29 heats run across Friday and Saturday. We've got lead truck and follow truck footage. We've got the static cam. We've got the original commentary. So now that's what we do have. Let me give you a bunch of the caveats about this. First of all, it's 2001, so all the video is SD. None of it's HD. Some of it may be hard to see. As we're watching, I said there's going to be some tech issues. There will almost certainly be some tech issues on my end, but there's a decent chance that what you're looking at is actually just the video that we got. As a reminder, these come from the digitized VHS tapes. It's not the raw recordings themselves, so some of the quality may be a little poorer. In particular, the follow truck. If you're noticing video from the follow truck and you're seeing, like, hey, this thing is stuttering every couple of seconds, or like we can only see 1 out of every 4 frames, that is not me. That is the video itself. We don't have commentaries for all the heats. cmuTV was having technical issues both days, so some heats don't have commentaries, some do. Again, the commentary predates the BAA getting involved, so the commentary, I'm sure they were doing their best, but they only seem to have a very minimal understanding of Buggy. Don't really know what's actually going on. All right. So I see McHugh is annoyed by me, so I am going to switch this over to the other scene, which has the trailer. We're not going to watch the trailer. Don't worry. If you want to watch the trailer, you can go back and watch the trailer. That's out there. I hope. I'm waiting to see if this scene actually switches. I don't know if I have to press a button to switch the scene. I've never done this before, like I said. Okay, the scene is switched. Good. All right, so let me set the scene for you here, and I will click play on the first video momentarily. So the carnival theme larger than life, Spring Carnival 2001. For those of you alums who are driving into Carnival, you just filled up your gas tank for $1.59 a gallon, and you're blasting Janet Jackson's All For You on the radio. If you're a little further away, you're probably flying in, and you may have been in a hurry to get to the airport, so you probably threw your 2-gallon jug of wheel solvent and your Swiss Army knife into your carry-on bag, and you ran out of the house without your ID. But I got good news. You're getting on the plane anyway. The TSA had not been created yet. Facebook, Twitter, even this website, YouTube, we're still years away from being invented. But don't worry, you probably got 50 CD-ROM discs offering 1,000 free hours of AOL sitting at home. And for any Zoomers out there watching, sorry, I realize that sentence made no sense to you, but we're old. DVD players were just becoming widespread, but they were only players. If you wanted to record something, you were still using your VCR, which is how we have this video. So, with that said, let's kick it off to cmuTV for their introduction to Raceday 2001. Maybe. Hopefully it loads. We shall see.
What's up, Buggy fans?
We can. Welcome to
What's up?
Yo, what's up? Buggy fans.
I see, like, Joanna mentioned you in her story. No. Oh, it's good. It's a reasonable thing.
Discord is probably, what you're seeing is probably, I don't know, 30 seconds to a minute behind what I'm seeing. So if I'm saying something and it's not what's on your screen, that's why. I can try and stream it to Discord also. I don't know how well it'll work. All right, so we got Women's Heat 1 coming up here. Yeah, I'll let them do some of the talking, but we'll do some of the talking as well. And I also wish I could turn my own volume down. I'm going to try that and see how that works. But... For all I know, it's going to crank down the volume of the actual video. So
I can't see.
if the video gets quieter for you, just let me know, and I will see if I can fix it. So Women's Heat 1 here, you got Fringe C in lane 1, CIA B in lane 2, and Spirit B in lane 3. I can try and pull up the actual teams themselves. This is Bocce in lane 1 for Fringe. This is Spectre in lane 2 for CIA. And Spirit has Shaka Zulu in lane 3. As you can see here, we got lead truck and follow truck for the first couple of heats. cmuTV was having tech issues for the first hour or so, so you're not really going to see much there. But, yeah, so I will say in this one, keep your eye on the follow truck, the picture-in-picture on the follow truck as we get to the chute, because we will see a pass here. But otherwise, yeah, so this is Shaka Zulu. Shaka Zulu was built in, as I try and load, this is all a mistake, trying to do things on the internet while I'm trying to stream on the internet is probably going to slow everything else down. Shaka Zulu built in 1992 by Spirit. And if anyone, there are people in the Discord, if you guys want to try and chime in, I'm gonna click share screen. We're gonna see what happens, and if I break everything, I break everything. But again, here as we approach the follow truck, approach the chute, take a look at the follow truck camera. CIA-B in the back, Fringe C in front, and CIA-B passes on the inside.
Looks like it's rolling the plug. It hits the plug, and Spirit B's pusher is just caught up to it. Looks like she got off to a bad start. CIA-B outrolled Fringe C, although it's picking it up at about the plug. And there's Fringe C coming around the corner picking it up. Spirit B already up to its hill 4 pusher, getting ready to run further up.
Alright, if you're in the Discord, I am trying to stream it there as well, so you can actually see it live, but doing that may have broke everything. We'll see.
No, this is good. I think this works better.
It works for you on the Discord. It's like a nightmare on YouTube, I think.
Well, the nightmare would be I had to listen to through the entire thing on the amazing.
We'll see a bit. Maybe I'll see what's streaming. It'll make it a little easier. So yeah, people feel free to chime in. Notice, like, again, this is full video front, beginning to end. There are no cuts. So, but we only have. If you don't see a camera angle, it's because we don't have it. So if you notice it going back and forth between lead truck and follow truck, it's because, well, the lead truck has to zoom to the finish line on the back hills, so you don't get a lot of hill 5 from the... from the lead truck. And you can already see the quality of the video for the follow truck is not great. But yeah, so the women's heats, everything went off normal on Friday. The men's heats, it's a rainy day in Pittsburgh. So, they have that to contend with, but we'll get to that in a little bit. Heat 2 coming up here is between SDC-B with S-Cargo. With Sambuca. And CMU A with 10th Commandment. So CMU A, 10th Commandment in lane 3. SDC-B, Sambuca in lane 1. And boy, this let me pause this for a second, see if it can catch up on the quality, because this is even worse quality than the actual video is. A solid 144p. I don't know, do I try 720? I'm gonna try 720. We're gonna see what happens. If it breaks everything, it breaks everything, but we're going. That's the real quality. All right, so this one is a good one to talk through, because honestly, not the most exciting heat. CMU's going to beat SDC by about 20 seconds, and not particularly competitive heat. So let's see, who's in the Discord? Anyone have any thoughts or want to say hi? Anything like that? Or if you're in either chat, either the Discord chat or the YouTube chat, feel free to chime in from the chat itself. We welcome all sorts of talking and discussion here. Uh-oh. I see people say, now I hear nothing. Do I not have sound anymore? Testing? No, I still have sound. Yeah, for the people who are hearing nothing, it may just be that there's no... I mean, if you can't hear me, that's a problem. But, if you can't hear the video, it's because there isn't necessarily a lot of talking. Again, for these first couple, the only commentary we have is from the lead truck, which is a little far away from the camera at times. It's a little variable. The other thing I will say, if things look bad or you're seeing things wrong, we did this to get people together to have some fun, talk about Buggy, reminisce about Buggy, just have a fun day on Sunday. But the heats themselves are going to be going up over the course of this week, so you'll be able to watch this on your own, where you can actually see the video not being choppy and without me talking over it, and you'll basically get to enjoy it yourself afterward. But we wanted a chance to bring people together.
CMU giving their final show. SDC still on hill 4. CMU is driving a beautiful line right down the middle of the road. Getting closer to the alumni tent right now.
This is Friday. Is when this starts. Friday, April 14th, 2001. And this is what I get. Every time I click something on the computer, it's going to slow everything down. So. I will do my best as my actual cmubuggy.org to look at what's going on. Hopefully, that yourselves if you want to see things. Right out. I'll close that. All right, we got race 3 coming up here. Race 3 is between Pika B and KDRB, and I'm gonna let so Pika B with Jupiter in lane 2. That's on the left from the main video. KDRB. This is McHugh's team with Pumpkin King in lane 3 on the right. Again, the spacing on the women's heats is pretty good. These two aren't going to be super competitive either. Pika B finishing 4th on the day. They'll finish with a 2:45. KDRB about 18 seconds behind with Pumpkin King. We tried to do the split screen so you could actually see a lot of the trailing buggies, which makes 2001 probably one of the better years now for teams that are in 2nd or 3rd. So if you're someone like me who was in an organization that didn't win, you'll be in good shape. Yes, yeah. So the lead truck commentary is very low. That's unfortunately just where they're standing in the lead truck. The regular commentary will be a little bit louder and will come up a little bit later, and I'll do a little less talking once that's there. Hopefully. Though, I don't know, as little as I'm saying here, you probably, I know more about Buggy and make less dumb comments than some of the stuff they're saying. But hey, that's kind of the charm of 2001 Race Day. So, and I'm gonna let them take over here.
It's that flywheel.
How much money to get through the safety? You gotta let them have it. So, like 2 years ago.
Yeah, did you see that nice SUV up there?
Not yet.
You mean the sweepstakes Yukon? Yeah. Let's get on this transition.
Finish!
I'm also a little curious as to how loud, whether the sound that you're hearing from the video is based on how loud I have it in my headset, and that's what I'm trying to, it was blowing my ears out before, so I lowered it, and now I'm wondering if I put it too low to make, and that's why it's even lower than what it sounds like. Yes, this is very 2001. Everything about this is 2001, uh, including my abilities to live stream, which feels very 2001. Though I guess live streaming didn't exist in 2001, but so we're slightly advanced, but you know we're 15 years behind. So Heat 4, this is your eventual winner, Fringe A, with Basket Case in lane 1 on the right now. Now it's on the left. Going up against Phi Kap's Secretariat in lane 2. So Fringe, being one of the more conservative organizations on the course, opting to not roll their brand new Buggy Brazen for their women's A team, saving that for the men's A coming up later. Instead, rolling their 2000 build, or I guess it's a 2001 rebuild, but their original 2000 build Basket Case. This is Basket Case with two S's. For those who don't know, Basket Case had a serious accident a week or two before Raceday in 2000 during push practice, where on April 7th, the Buggy went headfirst into lodged itself underneath a car that was parked on the back hills. The long story short, CMU police and EMS were called, and they had to wait for the fire department. The fire department used a pneumatic chisel to dislodge the Buggy, even though probably wasn't needed, and destroyed the Buggy. I believe it was per Scott Zolko. All they needed was a pair of tin snips to remove it. Instead, it was a pneumatic chisel, and it did mean that the Buggy couldn't roll for Raceday 2000, so it made its debut as a rebuilt version, adding a second S in 2001.
I mean, don't you think that just completes the CMU deal?
That loud sound you heard was someone dropping something as the lead truck hit the finish line. But you can see here we start to get some new camera angles. This camera angle on the sideline as Fringe crosses with a 234.7 officially, which is the number that Pika is going to try and beat momentarily. Yeah, I'm sure the night that Basket Case had its accident was definitely a dark day, both for Fringe and the sport in general. The good news is the driver was okay, didn't sustain any serious injuries, and she rolled again on race day. So you can see there, I didn't mention it, and I should have mentioned that beforehand, but Phi Kap with a nonchalant push bar DQ. They were well within reach of reaching it. I don't know. That's why you don't have women come out for the first time ever, or you don't have pushers come out for the first time ever on race day, because they don't know what they need to do. That was an easy one to not have a push bar DQ for. So here we finally have the CMU TV commentators. I'll let them talk a bit, and you can hear what it's like. As we get SDCA, SIG-FA, and KDRA.
Nip this thing in the bud, so we want to be out here by 1. Isn't that a great
Yeah, that's
goal?
right. And the sun looks like it's trying to peek out, but there's also still 70% chance of rain.
Exactly. So that is definitely something to be on the lookout for.
And it looks like Heat 5 has started already.
Heat 5 has started. Basically, we apologize for the past hour. We did have technical difficulties, but we're going to recount for those of you who are interested. what's going on. Okay, we're gonna do that after Heat 5. You just want that to happen.
So obviously the announcers don't really know what's going on.
Buggy should be coming real
Um,
soon. Oh, here we go.
I
We have
think
a
this is
visual.
a camera that they finally had.
Be a
This is
very
the Panther
nice
Hollow static
turn,
camera,
and yes, there we go. There we
and
go. Very nice turn. Very smooth turn.
yeah. So this is
How a crossover
the
is going to go. That is
I'll,
very,
I'll
very interesting. And also how far
I
up.
love one of their upcoming comments here with the
That
sheet
can also
turn.
make
So
a
I'll let
difference.
them say that, and then I'll jump
And
back
there we
in.
go. And yes, it's great speed. Great speed. Not too fast, not too slow. Yeah, coming around the chute. And
Yeah. So great speed, not too fast, not too slow. I know
AC is
when I'm in a race, I
perfect.
definitely want my vehicle described as not too fast.
And
That's
and
the
they are
that's
our
the
wonderful,
ideal
our
speed that you
wonderful,
have is not too
our
fast.
wonderful anchors, Steph Bonner and Patty.
So this is SDCA's Rage. Rage,
Steph and Patty, yes,
you
and they
Rage, one of the
also
old
built
timers
both
on the course.
anchors
At
as
this point in time, it
we
was
like to
still
call
one of the
them.
newer buggies. It was built in 1996,
Jumping
I
down the
believe.
chute, and
Could be
that is a
97.
nice,
I would
smooth
open the
turn.
page, but
Nice
I
turn. It's
don't want
not
to
too
cause
fast,
more
not too
delays.
slow. It's going. Oh, it's chugging along. It is chugging along. Yeah.
And the announcers here can
Didn't
see the
go
buggy in the
up
back,
as
but
far as
we get to see
it
the
should have.
lead buggies here. KDRA rolling Pentas here, so you get a bit of a closer race there. As we now have to cut to the back for SIGEP's Mr. Brains, their new buggy of 2001. Because again, the lead truck has to rush through the finish line, so we don't really get Hill 5 without some sort of static camera there. But yeah, so on the cmuTV commentary, you've got Sola Fasoon and Roger Ma are doing your commentary. We've got two on-field reporters, if you will, named Steph Bodner and Patty. They never say Patty's last name, so I don't know Patty's last name. If anyone knows who Patty is, let me know, and I can add that.
Don't and
Uh,
there we see Pica again. Piker. Our two anchors, Steph
and
and Patty. Yes.
and we're gonna let
anchors.
Patty do some talking on the next race because it's some of my favorite commentary.
And
Although
those
it
are Pica
well,
boys.
I'll
Very
preview
interesting.
that in the
Even
next one.
on race day, they still do scout. Don't you find that very interesting?
Yeah, they scouted all throughout the free rolls, practice free rolls, for the whole year.
Yeah, they are very hardcore, but it seems to pay off as past results have shown. They have won a lot of buggy races through this determination. And Heat 5 times are coming in.
Some of the things you will hear if you hear someone shouting the word faster a lot, realize that's not them yelling at the buggies
Very
or the
hardcore
pushers
stuff.
or the
Like I
teams.
said,
That is from the lead
later
truck
on, I'll be,
audio. That is telling the lead
channel
truck driver to
interview
go
that I have
faster
with
because
Drew,
they
who
need to
is the
stay
head of
away from the
Spirit.
buggy itself.
And
So here, women's heat 6. This is your main competition to Fringe this year. You got Pica A in lane 2 with Zeus. You also have Pioneers A in lane 1. That's on the right of what you currently see. That's Helios. And then Fringe B with Bandit in lane 3. And I'm going to let Patty talk.
Brought to you in part by. So, go. Do you ever wonder why they count down to 1 and then say ready, set, go? They say ready, set, go as if they were separate minutes, or seconds rather. And we're standing here, talking and talking and talking, because we know this microphone doesn't really work and it's really loud. And that one girl's like kicking ass. Oh, it's Pica, let's interview them. Oh no, we don't want to get our ass kicked. Yay, Pica. Let's go, not interview Pica. And I'm standing here talking. I'm talking and running. Is that the girl who? That's very sad. If my boyfriend ever dumps me and she's at carnival and I'm at carnival and he's with another girl, I'm gonna kick him in the nuts. And if there's audio and this is being webcast, I hope you're listening. That's not nice. Okay, we gotta get ready.
So I hope that person was listening because this may not have been webcast in 2001, but in 2024 it certainly is. As CMUTV tries to work out the audio issues. If Pike is cruising in front, but if you look at in the picture-in-picture of the follow truck, the back two buggies here, Pioneers and Fringe are going to get very close, and we are actually going to see a pass. So if you want to watch Pika, that's the main screen, but the picture-in-picture is going to have some excitement here.
They're not even on the board yet, which is really bad. Sorry. No, I'm just kidding.
Yes, Rob pointing out in the Discord that this microphone does in fact work. It does, although I don't know if it did in 2001.
I'm talking, and nobody's listening to me, right? Right? All right. So basically, the lineup is Fringe.
Yeah, so Fringe is on the right here, Pioneers on the left here. If you noticed, Fringe passed Pioneers on the back hills. They are gonna finish about. Fringe is gonna pull away on the back hills. It's actually gonna be about a 7-second difference here, which it doesn't feel like. But we're looking at a 249 versus a 256. So Pioneers runs a bit out of gas there. Yeah, Tom pointing out in the YouTube chat that the bagpipes, which is a fun one, that the Front Hills reporters or the lead truck people commented on potentially getting that in the future, but they didn't ever
500 car as a model.
pull up for that.
In 1946, after World War II, the soapbox derby model with 4 wheels becomes common. Most drivers ride in crouched sitting positions. Like I said, the first time, Roger, is this not true? The first time, I know for me, when I saw a Buggy, I was like, there's a person in there? There's an actual person in there. I am not a very tall person, people. 5'2" 3/4", thank you very much. But these people are tiny. Very tiny.
I'm a house compared to these people. My 5'5", 125
got a guy walking out in the middle of the street right before the Buggies hit Hill 2, which is a fun thing to see.
Wow, it's on.
There was some yelling from the lead truck of get out of the road. But so this is the final women's heat of the day. This is Spirit A with Haraka in front and CIA A with Conquest behind them. And you'll notice there is no push bar currently on Conquest. This is CIA's dropping push bar era. So once they get the Hill 2 shove, the push bar drops. This heat is going to demonstrate both the pros and the cons.
It's not going too fast, it's not going too slow, which is what we are looking for. We're also looking for a nice crossover, and a great exchange. Also,
so keep your eyes on CIA, who continues to gain on Spirit A's Buggy here.
The hill helps to determine how the pusher is going to do. Also, the pusher needs to be alert. It's really just trying to figure out what time you should go up to the Buggy, like how far.
I mean, CIA picked up a lot of time in that free roll, but keep your eye on the follow car.
We haven't seen this close.
On the follow truck video in the picture-in-picture now.
Oh wow. Here, it's neck and neck.
Yep, that's right. The push bar does not come up. That basically killed any chance CIA had to compete in this heat. They would end up finishing 11th. But keep your eyes on the follow truck video, because the push bar issues aren't done just yet.
From that. And
yep, at the Hill 3, Hill 4 transition, it goes down again.
Buggy 2 is stopped.
Buggy 2 is stopped. It is back up. This does happen, folks. Buggies do stop. It is. Oh, that is a strong pickup.
I mean, buggies do stop, but you don't really want them to.
Great. Remember, folks, it's not just.
So, again, I said if you hear the word faster, that's coming from the lead truck. A couple of things you'll hear from the CMuTV commentators are how interesting things are, how important things are, and drop tests.
Immediately, what they do is
they have to do a drop test, and what a drop test does, it tests the braking system of the buggies, and if the buggies do win, but they fail a drop test, they're disqualified.
That is it, and there have been sad occasions in the past where buggies have won, but they have failed the drop test, and as a result, they lost.
Also, pushers on Hill 5 must keep their hands on the push bar past the finish line, or else they're disqualified also.
It's very important. It's something that's easy to forget. Oh, someone just crossed the finish line, and they're going to do their drop test, aren't they?
Yeah, so they're a little wrong about drop tests. They keep saying how important it is. They have to be done within 2 minutes and all this stuff. That's not actually the rules, but you'll hear a lot more about drop tests because that seems to be the one fact that these announcers were told beforehand. Like, oh, we gotta really emphasize how important it is that drop tests. So here is DU in their final year of Buggy. I mean, they hadn't done Buggy much before this, but in the modern era. But they haven't done it since 2001, and they did it with their Buggy Domed Harlequin, a clear see-through Buggy. The first time we saw one of these since Air Force ROTC's Stratofortress. So this is the start of men's heats on Friday.
Here's DU's clear Buggy. They're coming up on hill 1.
Good speed.
Unfortunately for DU, or, you know, I guess some of the men's teams, day 1 doesn't end up counting. It rained after men's heat 8 on Friday, so with 11 teams still to go, the rains came and caused the races to be canceled. That wiped out all these heats on day 1, so the men's heats were redone on day 2. So if you have seen video of 2001's races and you've seen the men's races, you've probably only seen day 2. This may be the first time since the day itself that the day 1 races are out there. The heats are also very different from what they end up being in day 2, and a little bit later we'll talk about why that is, but it'll become pretty obvious.
Yeah, like you said, we're going to look and we want to see if the crossover is a nice smooth transition, and we want to see if it goes up the
McHugh pointing out that Domed Harlequin did roll in later years, just didn't race. He said he saw this Buggy roll in 2003. This has to be a fun one to watch from a spectator standpoint, because hey, you can see everything, but you can watch it here. It's not going fast, so. Of course, you know, this is 2001, so we're still talking. This is the year, again, you know, winning. Spoiler alert for the men's heats, in case you don't know, Fringe is about to win the men's heats as well, in addition to the women's. And they introduced the Zooter wheels to the Buggy world. So they're the first to use it, and Brazen is the first to be equipped with it, as far as I'm aware. So DU rolling on probably pretty slow wheels anyway, also a pretty large Buggy, and I'm sure they're not, you know, they're not trying to necessarily win with this design. They're just trying to have some fun. And honestly, they look like they're having some fun. But it's one day of fun. It's a spring carnival after all. They didn't want to bring their pushers out for day 2. So they're one of 2 teams to do what we're calling withdraw. I don't know that they officially withdrew. Maybe they just didn't show up. But they do not end up rolling again on Saturday. So this is their one time on the course in 2001. Shafiq sees himself on the monument, which is impressive because the quality of this video is not great. But hey, like I can't tell. I can barely tell what buggies are rolling sometimes. You need the correct angle on things to actually see it. But hey, if you can pick yourself out in the crowd.
Oh, and here's the finish.
So men's heat 2 here. So this is where things start to, change up a little bit. But you got CAAC in lane 1. CAC rolling Spectre. You got Phi Cap B in lane 2. That's Phi Cap rolling Secretariat, and KDRC in lane 3 rolling Pumpkin King.
And strong pushing in the middle, the man with the orange shirt. And he too.
He too's CIAC is racing, KDRC is racing, and Phi Cap B is racing. Oh, they just.
Tom pointing out in the chat that Brazen was actually built around Zooters, so the wheels came before the Buggy.
You had a very clear design.
Which honestly worked out pretty well for them. So.
Going down but these are more aerodynamic, more sleeker. No, they're not clear, so you cannot see. And usually they try to keep.
And yeah, McHugh pointing out that the rationale behind DU's build, which is they thought the secrecy of the sport was ridiculous, and built a transparent Buggy in faux protest, which is perfectly fair.
Her
Uh,
is really
I think in
well
recent
done.
years, maybe some of the secrecy has
Let's see
died down a
how
little bit. Things have been a
crossover
lot
goes.
more
But like we said,
collaborative
it's really
and
important
communal than maybe they were back in
how far it goes up
2001.
the hill because
But
you want the pusher to be able to connect with
hey,
the buggy. It's
transparent
very
buggy's
important stuff.
kind of fun.
Right, Roger?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Soul, you're always right. I
Oh,
can't
thank you.
emphasize that enough.
Thank you.
FICAP's
Just
FICAP's
wanted to,
shoot
to
turns
just a
never
comment. We started
always
CMU TV.
a little
Oh, that
iffy.
was a wobble. That is not good.
No, that was not.
That is not good. Yes. Uh-oh. A wobble is basically, you can call it just a clue as to what will happen.
So just comparing times between days,
Yes, they are still
FICAP
in
is
first,
about
but,
the
that
same
wobble's
from
not
day
good.
1 to day 2.
Yes. In general, wobble's just
KDRC got about a half second faster on day
very,
2,
very
and
strong. They're
CAAC
right there with it.
got about
Very
a second
good.
faster on day
Really
2. So
does
the
count.
Friday in
It's
general,
fine.
a slower
But
day.
how fast?
And I'm gonna let Sola talk about CMU TV here for a second to give them a
Basically,
shout out.
just wanted to quickly. We started CMU TV last spring with TV cams running around, and we want to commend CMU TV's improvement. We've come a long way. We're doing live TV. This is the first time CMU TV is doing live TV. We're doing it in association with WV3C. It's just we've come a long way from TV cans to doing live TV, and just wanted to give props up to Shane, Charlie, and everybody out there who has basically been the backbone in supporting. And no, there isn't a lot of us, but we do the best we can, and we have come a long way. We all deserve a pat on our backs.
Quality, not quantity.
Yes,
that
that is it. Quality, not quantity. I couldn't have said it any better. Yes, and basically, yes, we are still on Heat 2.
And we do have what I'm going to call a companion podcast to this episode. To this Race Day 2001, there's an episode with some of the behind-the-scenes CMU TV folks, some of the people who run the cables and do the actual tech behind this, as opposed to the on-camera people. I put that in the YouTube chat, but if you go to our CTS podcast or our website, you can find it there.
It is starting. Here we go.
It's from the most recent season, season 5.
Yes, we do see the fall card. Oh. Someone's in the
This
lead.
is men's heat 3.
Yes.
You got CMU
Wow,
A
look at that
in
running.
lane 3. They're the ones
That
up in front.
we're dealing with
That's
the
King
eight,
of
aren't we?
Spades.
We are,
French
you
D
can tell you're dealing with
keeping
the eight.
tight with Bandit.
Basically.
The
bump and run.
That may have been Sam Swift on Hill 1. It kind of looked like Sam Swift, but it's a little hard to tell. And then Pioneers B with
Yes, you can tell this is
with
A.
Hyperion
This is the
in lane 1.
The cars are more sleeker.
It's impressive that Fringe
faster.
D
You can definitely
managing to keep pace with Signu A on the pushing
And
side.
again,
But
you're
of
in
course, King of
Heat 3
Spades
with,
and Signu always a good
Pioneers
free
B,
rolling team.
Fringe D, and
So
Signu
they're gonna pull away a
It
bit
looks like
here.
we're coming up on the turn, or the first turn.
I didn't know there was a D. There's a D or D teams. Very interesting. Okay.
Maybe that's a typo,
We
but
all
hey.
learned something today.
We're learning. You're learning too.
It is not a typo.
I'm
Just
Our CMU TV people are always right.
We all
What was I
learned
thinking?
Something today. We all learned something. Okay, and it is interesting. Look at that. So
pretty certain
sleek.
those teams,
Look at the speed. Going relatively fast. It's I think one of the faster ones that we've seen today. Going down, slowing down a little bit. The turn is nice, but really, like as we said, what matters is how the pushers interact.
Yep,
with it.
got multiple confirmations that
and
is indeed
little
Sam
delay.
Swift, the founder of CMUBuggy.com
delay,
and
but that
the
will
originator
delay.
of the
Thank you so
Buggy
much.
Alumni Association.
Exchange. Oh, nice exchange.
The top 5 will be coming in shortly. Just to
Coming up on hill 4.
yes, and great pushing. You see the speed, you see the power in that.
He's doing bump and run too as well.
Bump and run, very.
Most people do bump and run, but some people choose to hold the push bar.
And it's very important that you hold on to the push bar, though. Very important. There have been people who've been disqualified for not doing that. It's just very easy. not to
Interestingly,
do
there are
because
actually,
you get
at this
caught up
point,
in
there are
movement.
2 different
Most
cameras
people
in the
hill
lead
5
truck.
use a bump and
So
run
you'll
technique,
see
and they never-
occasionally
some never catch up
one
with their
slightly
buggy, but you
darker
gotta
than
put
the
your
other.
hands on the push bar
And if you
at the
hear
finish
talk
line,
of
or else you're disqualified.
hair and herbal
And
essences,
someone
it's
just
because
crossed the
the
finish line. And what
video
are they
feed
doing
that the
after
CMU
they cross
TV
the
announcers
finish
are
line?
seeing
drop test
is one of
2 minutes
those lead
after
truck
they finish.
videos.
And what a drop test is, it tests the brakes on the buggy, and if the buggy does not pass, then they're disqualified, even if they win the race. And it looks like we have a visual Fringe right now.
We
getting
do
ready
have
for the
a
race.
few drop tests
Fringe,
that we've
like we
managed
said,
that we've
our
been
top
able to
3
throw
people
in
to look
here.
out for,
So
Fringe, Pika,
we
and
have done that.
Silence.
In terms of time comparisons, that was a 216.2 for CMU A. That's actually
Let's see if the chart is
it's
right.
about the same.
We
They did a
knew the
216.4
predictions were a little off with the
officially on
women's.
day 2.
Let's
Fringe
see
D
if
put
we're
up a
right for the men's
226.6,
predictions. Oh, and basically yesterday was cloudy, and
which
we are
is
praying
about
we've
5
had a good
seconds
session
faster
so
than
far
day
that there
2,
is no rain
or
before
4.5
12
seconds
o'clock.
faster than day 2.
Because
And
if that
Pioneers
is,
B with a
it's going to be a long day,
228.8.
folks, and we want to nip this in the bud.
That's
We wanna
about
get out before
half a second slower than day 2.
70% chance of rain
So,
today.
and I didn't give the times before. I wasn't given the times, but since we don't actually record them, I figured I could say them.
Okay. Actually,
Heat
no.
3 was, or Heat 2 was Phi Cap B with a 225.15, KDRC with a
15 seconds
232.93,
to row.
and
15 seconds
CIAC
to
with
row.
a
Very,
247.55. The
very
last
interesting,
buggy,
very
the
interesting.
time will be
And
stopped
we
on
just
the
see
screen,
Patty walking
so you
by.
know it.
Patty just had an interview with
This Heat
Samantha
4,
and
this is
Sam
an interesting
Bowie.
one
Sam
because
Bowie is the wife of
coming from,
Robert
you know, I was
Bowie,
only
who
in
was the chairman,
9th
the
grade
first
when this
chairman
race
of
happened.
Spirits
Uh,
Buggy in 1985.
8th grade
He
when
started
this race
1985.
happened?
Like I said, Alumni Weekend
8th
Thursday.
grade
See a
when
lot
this
of
race
family
happened.
here.
9th?
Oh,
I
and
don't
it
know.
started
Either 8th or 9th
four-star
grade. I'll have to do the math at some
strong,
point.
right? Someone's
So
ready, at
my
least.
only
Very strong
reference point
pushing.
to
Look at that
2001's
push.
race day was
That
the CMU Buggy
very,
website,
very exciting.
and we didn't have SAE in there.
That buggy is
So
huge.
we didn't
I'm
have any record
surprised
that
that it's
SAE actually
going
raced at
but you
all
know what? They have a lot of
on
strong pushers.
in 2001.
Yes,
But
it
sure
is
enough,
close to a
here
push.
they
It
are
is
on day 1.
very close.
I watched
And it
this
is
video
going down
and
the
I'm like,
hill.
man, that buggy looks a lot like
Speed-wise, I think
Rubicon.
it's moderate.
And I'm going
It's
through
not
the
the
list trying to figure out
fastest
what
we've seen,
buggy
but
it could
not the
be.
slowest
And then it turns out
seen.
it is actually
Yes.
Rubicon.
Like you said,
So
size
SAE's
does
Rubicon,
matter.
Beta A with their buggy Beast,
No pun intended.
leading right now.
Yeah, this is huge. Absolutely huge. Look at that. I know. This is. I could fit in that.
Weirdly,
should
Roger,
ask
if
me
you
to beat it.
barely
No.
heard him there, he said, it's a beast. He didn't know the name of this buggy. He just described it as a beast. And it turns out
Let's get away from
it's
that.
actually the buggy.
Anyway, back to the race.
Yes, this
So
is.
I guess
oh,
I guess it
actually,
goes to
it
show
is
Beta
going
did a good job
relatively
naming their
fast.
buggy.
The speed has increased. We really want to look at the crossover, how smooth it is, and the wobbles. Remember, if you see a wobble, that's not good, folks. It's not good. And how far up the hill it goes. If the pusher can interact with that buggy fast enough, because that is what matters.
So the good thing about a big buggy is it goes down hills fast, but it goes up hills slow. So you have to find a healthy medium between the two.
They can choose basically.
But they're winning right now with the big buggy. That
is
minivan
Nick.
is
I know,
burning.
that is Nick from Beta. He is running. He is running.
That
That is great.
that comment was actually correct. Big buggies go downhill faster,
the
but uphill
exchange
slower.
zone for,
Yeah,
hill
I
number 5.
know it. You know, as I was thinking about
Canteen
this,
Pro V, yeah.
this race was 23 years ago. Like, it feels weird to say, and I apologize to everyone watching.
No, we're not.
But if there's any current students out there who are
Look
watching
at
this,
that.
we
What
did
is
try to
going
post this in
on
the
here?
current student Buggy
I
Discord
think
as
we
well.
are approaching Buggy and more exactly.
Current
Finish
students
line.
were actually
Oh,
probably
yes,
not
and we have
alive
a
when this
winner.
race
We have a winner.
took
In a
place,
couple of
which is
minutes,
a
we
scary
will tell
thought,
you
I
the
think, for
results
all of us.
What heat was this?
This is Heat 4.
We'll tell you the results of Heat 4.
SAE putting up a final time of 2:26.08. Beta A winning that heat with a 2:19.9. That's about 3 seconds faster than they would end up doing on Saturday.
And we're just about ready for the fifth
Heat
heat.
5 here. This is Spirit B.
So let's
Spirit
just have
B
a moment
rolling
of silence
Baraka,
right now.
the women's
Let's
8
pray
buggy.
for the. Oh,
And Sigep
here's the
A
start.
rolling their new buggy,
Look at
Genesis.
that.
I said
Look
Mr.
at
Brains
that.
was their new buggy.
They're neck and neck right now on Hill 1, and they're both using the bumpy
I'm off
run
by a
technique.
year
This is
on.
Heat 5 with
No,
Spirit
Mr. Brains was their
and
new buggy.
Sigep A.
Sorry.
Remember, folks,
And
the
this
top of
is
the heat
sorry.
we'll look at
This is
Spirit,
Mr.
Taika,
Brains.
and Fringe.
I'm getting very confused now. This is Mr. Brains
Past the
rolling.
exchange zone, and we're on to Hill 2.
We'll have to get this
Oh,
fixed.
and now we're
This
on
is
the free
Mr.
roll.
Brains. Genesis is
Real
rolling
free
as
roll,
I believe
folks,
their
is
B team
very
buggy.
important.
I think we have it flipped on our site.
And it's going down. It's a moderate speed. It's I would say though it's a little more. It's one of in the faster range. It's one of the faster ones that
And
we
Mr.
have
Brains
seen
is their new
so far.
2001 build. Genesis was built in 2000.
Or herbal instances. Never know. Yeah, look at that. It's huge though. It is a little big. Not the biggest one we've seen. Trust me. It is a little on the larger size.
I think Beta wins that prize, or DU. What do you think?
It could be a tie. Let's make it a tie.
Yeah,
Take a tie.
it's fair. Oh, look,
Yeah.
we're all
look at that.
young.
Look at that.
We're all
This is
we're all in
Remember
our
the crossover
late
is
teens,
very
early 20s.
important.
I
And
understand
also
how it is.
how they go up the hill because you want the pusher to be able to connect with the buggy because that really helps in terms of who crosses the finish line. And look at that. That was a great pickup. Just lots of speed.
That was a solid
Very
pickup,
wonderful.
although
They were prepared. Spirit is prepared.
debris didn't roll up
Excellent
as far
pickup
as
by Spirit.
maybe it
Wonderful.
should have.
Like their army outfits.
Sexy. Huh?
Very, very unique. And you see there Sigepe. Yes, but look at Spirit. Look at them go. Just incredible. That speed. And like we said, Spirit, Pika, and Fringe are the top 3 to look out for.
Now Spirit's coming up on the home stretch.
You see the? I think that is that the follow card.
This is a lead car.
No, this is a lead car actually that we're seeing. Okay, yes, I guess so. When we see the back of people's heads, it's a leading car. Look at that.
Oh.
Look at them go. That's great. Oh, and we see a finish line. We see a finish line.
That is a
Yes, it is drop test time,
2:18.63
people.
for
Drop
Spirit
test
B.
time. Very important.
That's what I'm talking about.
Drop test. Remember, you don't pass it. That's it.
Yes,
You could win
Shafiq is
and you
correct.
could
That's
lose
not
too.
Genesis. That is Mr.
Only
Brains.
one day. Very
We have to
sobering.
fix our site.
Sad occasions. TIGAP is struggling to catch up, but they are.
Genesis is pretty noticeable because it might be the tallest
That is
buggy
a strong.
that has ever
That
existed.
is a strong pusher. Look at him go. But like we said, it also depends on the buggy, how fast it goes up.
And here's Spirit's getting ready for the drop test.
Yes,
right now.
Spirit and their drop test.
And this is a 2:58.5 for SIGEP A, which is basically
And here is
the same
Spirit
time as day
drop
2.
test.
So, again, we're showing
Okay,
drop
and,
tests where we have them.
Line up for heat 6
There's a
is
little bit more
Fringe
from day 2 than day
Now the-
1.
FICAP
No one
C,
failed drops this
CIA
year,
B.
so nothing all that exciting in the
Let's
drop
see if,
test. But,
some of
or I
Jordan's predictions are
stand
actually
corrected.
correct this
There
time.
was one.
Now we're
There was a
seeing the big
women's
guns.
failure, but we don't have the women's. We don't have the women's drop tests, so you're not going to see any failed drops, but we included it anyway. So here, this is men's heat 6 on Friday. This is Fringe A. This is your eventual winner in lane 1 with Brazen. Driver Carla, who I believe is in the Discord chat.
Car's getting ready. And we
Pika
have-
C with Jupiter in lane 2. And CIA B with Conquest in lane 3. And this is impressive because as strong as Fringe was this year, Pika keeping pace with them through most of this heat.
Look at Fringe go. Look at them go. Oh, no, they did not. Look at that. Remember, folks, what we said. Fringe, Pika, and Spirit, top 3 to watch. Look at
Fringe
that.
has a big lead right now coming down on the free rolls.
This is Fringe A, folks, with FICAP C and CIA B. Look at that. We're looking at what is that? That's a lead car.
Yes, yeah.
We're looking at a leading car right now. Very, very, very good turn. The turns are going relatively well. Yes. Look at that. Very, very sleek. Very fast. This is, I think, the fastest that we've seen so far. This is the fastest car that we've seen. You remember, you want to look at the crossover. You want to look at the crossover, and also a very important thing is how far up the hill it goes, so that the pusher can connect with it. That really does help determine the winner. Look at that. The fastest that we have seen it. Look at that. Wow. Remember, wow.
Listen to the crowd going wild.
Yes,
in
the
the
crowd
back.
is going wild because this is amazing. This is the fastest that we've seen, Roger. This is incredible. Look at that.
Oh, and look,
Yes.
look at the pickup.
Oh,
The pickup
there's
is
the
amazing.
pickup.
Oh, look.
One push,
Uh-oh.
They do look neck and neck though.
and there's your shove.
Coming up on hill 4.
So it was a bump and a shove
See, look, Pika is trying,
for
they
Fringe
are
A on hill
battling.
2, on hill 3.
A is in the lead. Look at them. Look at that. Look at that. Hand must be on
we're
the
coming
handle,
in.
folks. It is so easy to get caught up in the moment and to forget that rule. So easy. Look at that. It is
C is right behind Fringe
right
A.
behind. Yes, it doesn't get better than this, folks. Look, top 3 people to look out for: Spirit, Pika, and Fringe. Remember that. Look.
And here we go for the finish.
Here we go.
Does he have his hands on the push bar? He
Yes,
does.
he
That is
does,
a
and
2:10.5 for Fringe A,
with Pika.
with a 2:16.79 for
Of
Pika,
course, last is CIA B.
and CIA B with a
Do you have any stories about
2:23.2.
pushers or?
The Fringe is going to shave a second and a half off of their day 1 time for day 2. Pika is going to shave about half
We're
a
in the
second.
money today.
And CAAB is going to shave like a quarter of a second. All right. So we've got 2 more heats left on Friday, and this is where things get a little interesting. So these are your 2 most exciting heats on the day, and these are the 2 that make it so that day 2's heats are not the same as day 1. Here we got Pioneers A in lane 1 with Helios, KDR-B with Pagan in lane 2, and CAA-D with Stealth in lane 3. And as you'll hear them referred to as the Coffin Team. But keep your eyes on Pioneers and KDR, because this is going to get exciting.
We have a leader. Very interesting stuff.
One interesting
Very
shit.
interesting stuff. Yes, look at the speed. Look at the speed of that. It is great. It is the people.
I'm sorry for Hill 2. We have the cameras we have.
Those were in the lead. And
pay very close attention to Pioneer's Buggy.
Also very important to notice
because
that.
things are going to get
And
wild right
it's coming down.
about
It is relatively
now.
fast. It's one of the more faster ones that we have.
You can actually see, I believe, one of Pioneer's wheels flying across the road, which I can go back to before at the end of this heat. I'll try and replay this so we can watch it again when you're prepared for it.
See how it crosses.
In the meantime, KDR continues to roll.
Yes, and it is.
Pioneers has spun out and stopped, but KDR's continued. But Stealth was unaffected by that, and is a pretty heavy buggy. So Stealth is coming down, and probably not what you want to see if you're a KDR person, McHugh.
And let's see, and it's very
Stealth gonna come in and actually pass Pagan in the chute.
That one looks like a coffin.
They're neck and neck.
That one's a coffin. We have a little coffin thing going on here. That is large. I have to say the coffin one. Yeah, the good pickup though.
But that's not going to be it. That's not the end of the action here. Again, keep your eyes on CAA's Buggy as it moves towards the center line on Hill 4.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh.
Yep, that's right.
Oh, no. We don't want collision. Oh boy, we see a police officer.
That's right. The police are coming for CIA and KDR for bumping on Hill 4.
Oh boy. Almost there, folks. Almost there. We'll have a winner soon enough.
But it's all, again, day 1 because of the rain, this is all wiped out. So KDR's finish time here is going to be a 2:33.97. CIA is going to be a 2:38 flat. And I'm going to go back to the little. I'm going back here. If you keep your eyes, I don't know if you can see the mouse on my screen, but if you can, see, I'm going to pause it right before.
It is coming down. It is relatively fast.
So they lock wheels here, but if you watch going across the road, you'll see something fly across the road after this hit.
It's one of the more fast.
You can see it kind of over here, going flying. So we'll see. I don't know if you can. You probably can't see the mouse, but if you can, then maybe. Anyway. The announcers obviously don't know this is happening. This video from the lead truck, I don't believe they got this video. So anyway, jumping back to the end here. And that's a 2:38 flat for CIA. So now we get to the last heat of Friday, which is what I'm going to describe as the greatest, maybe the greatest save in Buggy history. This is SDCA's Rage in lane 1, Sig Tau A's Spitfire in lane 2, and Fringe B's Bocce in lane 3. The action is going to be between SDC and Fringe.
And it looks like who's in the lead? Again,
Sig Tau just kind of along for the ride.
SDCA is in the lead.
This is Heat 8 with SDCA, CMU, and Fringe B.
And it looks like Fringe B is second.
This is very, very interesting stuff. Look at the sleek one, the blue sleek one. That is very,
So you can see the two buggies going into the free roll pretty close together.
Yes, and look at those lovely trees, people.
And then it's going to
To
turn
remind
out
again
that
you will see
SDC rolling
the
a
buggy cars, and
little
you will
bit
see
faster than
either
Fringe here.
probably the lead car, which is right now that is the lead car, and then you will see the buggies following it.
So
Look at
for the
that.
Fringe people in chat,
You know what?
I don't know
big,
who
but let me
Bocce's
tell you
driver was
something.
in 2001,
They have
but
good speed.
I got to give them a round of applause because
Yes, Fringe B,
this
folks,
has
Fringe
to be
B.
scary. Coming up here, SDC going to go inside at the transition flag to try and pass, and then we're going to see some interesting stuff here.
They have been off.
Oh,
Oh no. There's been a crash, people.
This is wild, and this is so wild
today.
that this is the only time I did it, but I built in a slow-mo replay at the end of this video. We're gonna see it
This
again.
Is the second one today, folks. The second
because you don't get the best angle from the
first crash,
from
no
the lead
was
truck.
hurt, luckily.
But Bocce was on one wheel. I don't know how Janice saved that one, but Bocce was literally on one wheel
And it is Ethan.
and managed to save it and make it through the chute and continue the race. And is going to put up a pretty impressive time of a 2:22.67 after that happens.
Yes, look at that.
They're obviously going to shave 7 seconds off in day 2, but
Fringe. Exchange zone, people. This is it. This is it. Soon enough, the finish line is right over there. After that, they must do drop tests. Drop tests are so important. If you could win and you could
and
lose
the good news is both drivers were fine, both buggies were fine. SDC is going to come out and immediately race the first heat in day 2.
A lot of people have lost because of their drop test. You must do it. You have 2 minutes. You have such a short time because they want to.
And I apologize for showing the ambulance here a lot. Again, driver was fine, buggy was fine, but we just don't have other cameras, so that's what we get. So here's a slow-mo replay. If you watch Bocce on the left, you're only going to get a couple of frames of it, but Bocce is literally going to go onto one wheel and come back before it comes back down. So here, that's the end of day 1. It starts raining after that. You can even see with the ambulance that there's some umbrellas out. So they put a delay on the course and then end up ending races. Before we get to day 2, I am just gonna do. I put together a little 10-question trivia thing. We're not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it live, but I will give the code. So if you, what's the best way to do this? Trying to figure out what the best way to give the code is. If I add it to this, if I add it here, let's see. So if you go to joinmyquiz.com and put in the code 921646 or scan the QR code, I think. It says waiting for participants. I think I'm just going to click start. I don't remember how this works. Hopefully, I'm just going to click start and we'll see what happens, and then we'll keep moving. But this is a do it on your own. I'll see the results later, but we're gonna. I think this is set up to do it on your own. Which I don't know is maybe less fun. I guess you know what? Would people rather do it live or do it as an on your own thing? I'll give people a chance to answer before I click start on this. Let's see. Does anyone have a preference? If not, I'll just hit start, and then you guys can do it. It's probably a little tough to do it live anyway because of the delay of the stream. Although I guess you can see the questions on your computer, so or on your device. So maybe we can do it. But all right, here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna click auto start your quiz. I don't even know what this is gonna do. And we will try and see what happens. Yeah, okay. Click auto start. 1:30. That was longer than I expected it to be. All right. So while we're waiting for the last few people to join, if a few more people want to join, so we've got just so you know where we are, we've got 10 men's heats plus 3 men's rerolls and 1 women's heat to go. That's all going to be on from Saturday. And then after that, we've got a bunch of interviews and packages that we'll keep on, but probably I'm not going to talk through those because most of that requires hearing what they're saying. A warning that the interviews are maybe a little awkward. Again, this is cmuTV trying something new, and not the best interviewers in the world, and not the best interview subjects in the world. Some better than others. I even included one interview with a person who hates Buggy. I don't even know why he was there or why they chose him for an interview, but there are some good ones on there, including at least one person in this chat, Carla, Fringe A's driver, does have an interview with them, which is a fun one. We got 5 seconds left for this quiz to start. And then I'm going to see what this looks like on my end, and then we may go back to the races. This is incredibly loud. I'm killing that sound. That was just way too loud. So I'm gonna take this off the screen. I believe you're all doing it on your own. But I can read off the questions, and then we'll kind of go with that. So question number 1 was: 2 organizations initially raced in the men's heats on Friday, but did not return to record official times on Saturday. Name either organization. We've already seen both of them race, obviously, so hopefully you remember what those are. Number 2, I'm trying to decide if I should actually show this. I guess it doesn't really matter, other than it's going to show how many people are right and how many people are wrong. But it's not going to show who, so you're going to get to see these questions in advance. All right, so we're showing it. So that's question number 1. Question number 2 is: which organization picked up its first ever race day win in 2001? Was that SDC, Fringe, CIA, or PICA? Again, none of these should be that hard, but some of them are harder than others. Number 3 is: Fringe's Brazen, debuting in 2001, ushered in a new era in buggy history by sporting wheels made by what company? Is that Goodyear, Zero Error, Zooter, or Soapbox Derby? Question 4. Question 4 is one we actually didn't talk about, so this is probably the toughest one, at least so far. One buggy was disqualified a month before race day due to safety concerns. Which buggy was it? McHugh complaining he didn't get question 1 because he didn't type out the name of the fraternity. You didn't need to. If you had just gone with their initials, you also would have gotten credit. So don't complain. Just, type better. I can't help it. If you put in both organizations, then you might not have gotten credit. So yeah, we didn't talk about the buggy that was DQ'd. We'll do that in the second half when we get to the team that's involved. Number 5, who was sweepstakes chair for Raceday 2001? We also didn't talk about this one, and boy, this is a tough question because 2 of these people were on sweepstakes in 2001, and 2 others were sweepstakes chairs before and after 2001. But the choices are Debbie Keller, Janice Golenbach, Scott Wabnitz, or Scott Ziolko. Then, who was head judge for Raceday 2001? Tom Wood, Sam Swift, Chris Stengel, Carl Knott. Didn't talk about this either, but hopefully the fact that Sam Swift pushed Hill 1, and we did talk about that, makes it clear he was not head judge. All 4 of these are legends, if you will, in the Buggy Alumni Association community. Another tough one, although this you can get from cmubuggy.org. I mean, all of these questions you can get from cmubuggy.org, except for maybe which Buggy was DQ'd a month before Race Day. How many organizations rolled at least one women's team in 2001? Was it 5, 8, 10, or 14? Yeah, Sigma. Yeah, that's Sigma Alpha Epsilon is not SigEp. That is McHugh's fault. So yeah, that's your own fault for that one. Which Buggy won the 2001 design competition? Was it Fringe's Brazen, Fringe's Basket Case, Spirit's Shaka Zulu, and Spirit's Araka? Looks like everyone's getting that one right. Not a surprise, but usually Buggies that win the design competition are new that year, so that's a little hint to that one. How many men's heats raced on Friday? If you counted how many we just did, that will be the answer. Hint, it wasn't 0. And then the last question, which of these Buggies did not roll as an A team in 2001? Was it KDR's Pumpkin King, Pioneer's Helios, Phi Cap Secretariat, Beta's Beast, or Fringe's Basket Case? Yeah, so those are the 10 questions. I will try and keep the code. I've put the code in the YouTube stream chat. I will also put the code in the Discord. And what I'm going to do is leave this open. And so as people join in, if they want to do this, they can. And I won't close the quiz in case people join for the second half. And look, you don't even need to be watching the stream to do the trivia, as long as you have the Discord. All right, so we're going to leave that open and kind of let that go, and we're going to move on to day 2. So again, with the incidents that happened in men's heats 7 and 8 on day 1, sweepstakes in the chairman's meeting on Friday got a little upset, and they called people together and they're like, "Hey, this isn't going to work. We need to redo these heats." I believe if one of the podcast episodes, and I can't remember which one, is accurate, teams claimed to have their Hill 1 times, and no one could be trusted, so they had. Oh, it looks like the quiz is done. Let me. I didn't end it, but I guess everyone who was in has finished. So here's the results. I gotta We're not going yet. Here are the results of the quiz. Congratulations to Danger Mike, who took this one. Shafiq finishing second, and JoJo finishing third. Congratulations to all involved. We'll try and... I may put one up for later. Just if people do join later and want to do it, just have one kind of running. So anyway, so 2001, sweepstakes got together, and I believe basically went to Pica and said, "Hey, Pica, you've got everyone's Hill 1 times. Are these heats okay?" And they redid the heats to basically make sure that it didn't that the incidents from Friday didn't happen again on Saturday. They were almost successful, but there is one a little bit later in the day that is very exciting to see. But we will get there when we get there in a few heats. For now, we kick it off Saturday morning with SDCA, who was in an accident in Heat 7 on Saturday, now rolling in the beginning of the day, going up against Siget B and CIAC. This time, Siget B rolling Genesis, and CIAC again rolling Spectre. No, that's Mr. Brains. All right. Well, it's too late now for the actual video. I have day 1 labeled wrong. Sigep B is the one that raced, not Sigep A, even though it said Sigep A. That is completely my bad. The time also doesn't... I don't know. I should have checked that before. Maybe I'll update the video before it goes live over the course of the week. So, this is Mr. Brains in lane 2 for Sigep B. But SDCA's Rage, after hitting the curb, after colliding with Bocce on day 1, rolling nice and smoothly on day 2. And the front end of this, everything's spread out. If you look on the top, though, you're immediately seeing CIAC passing Siget B. But nice and clean pass before the stop sign. Not surprising, Siget B going to have better pushers than CIAC. CAAC rolling Spectre, an older Buggy, a heavier Buggy, and Mr. Brains not exactly cream of the crop. Sigep really didn't figure out the secret sauce until maybe Pandora, really more Messiah in 2008 is when they finally had things click, and then obviously Barracuda in 2009, their best Buggy historically. But Rage killing it in its 5th year on the course. And cruising along here. And once again, we're not going to have commentary for this until the later heats of the day. Again, cmuTV having technical issues throughout the day, so it's mostly going to be just this background audio that I found, some royalty-free, Creative Commons licensed music, and I'll try and do some talking. But this is a good time if there are people who want to jump into the Discord and say hi and talk about 2001. If you don't know how to do that, there's a thing that says general underneath the chat that we're in. There's one with a little audio symbol. If you jump in there, we'll actually, if you have a microphone, we'll be able to hear you. Or the people who are in there currently, if you want to unmute, you can feel free to jump in and say hi. I'll maybe lower the volume on the video because honestly, there's not much to hear for the next few heats. It's just the lead truck, and they don't say anything too exciting other than faster, faster. Which, by the way, I've always been a proponent of the lead truck. I think there's good reasons to have a lead truck. But as I watch some of these older videos and realize how difficult of a job it is to be the driver of the lead truck, I'm starting to question whether the lead truck really should be there, because some of these get, and not necessarily in 2001, but I've been watching some other old lead truck videos, and plus there's one actual video where I think Pica A women, I think in either 2003 or 2004, even got a re-roll because they got too close to the lead truck and the lead truck affected their line. So it's a thankless job and it's a difficult job because as you're driving a car, you got to be looking forward and all the action's happening behind you. So you'll hear people dramatically yell faster, faster, faster as things start to get too close. But yeah, so this is FICAP B with Secretariat. and KDRC with Pumpkin King. These two competed against each other on day one as well. They were far enough apart, and they remain far enough apart here. And we're getting some confirmation in the chat from some Fringe folks that Brazen and Bandit both rolled on Zooters in 2001. Basket Case and Bocce did not. But just some solid pushing here. Again, these teams, I mean, FICAP B is going to finish 16th. KDRC is going to finish 21st. So, again, we're early in the day. We're not expecting a, huge dominance from either of these teams. They're not going to be the fastest out there. But Pumpkin King, I know, a personal favorite of some folks. Secretariat never quite lived up to its namesake. Bocce did roll with Zooters in the fall of 2001, or I guess fall of 2000. That's how they knew they could build Brazen around Zooters. It's a 232.4 for KDR. And so now we got Heat 3. So again, this is a bit of a mix now from day one. You got 6-2A's King of Spades in lane 3 on the left. You got Fringe D's Bandit in lane 2. They went neck and neck in day one. They'll go neck and neck here again, but really, as long as Cygnoot wins the race up the front hills, they're fine. And then Pioneers B with Hyperion in lane 1 on the left of the main screen now. You'll also notice here there's some on-camera graphics. The men's day 2 races, or the main men's day 2 races, not the rerolls, but the main races, cmuTV did do some post-production and added some audio, or added some video and graphics, did the cutting of a lot of the static cameras together. Lead truck and follow truck we added in separately later, but the rest of this is cmuTV's original post-production of this. I'm assuming that was for the channel. I don't know if they ever sold DVD. Just based on the version of this that we have, I don't think they ever sold it as a DVD or a VHS. I believe the recordings that we have also include some other random cmuTV footage. So you'll also notice the shoot camera here is in a different place than it is nowadays. It's on the other side of the street, on the Phipps side. So you actually do get blocked by the trees a decent amount. It's in a better place now than when it was then, but it's an interesting angle that you don't see very often. You'll also notice I guess this is my chance to talk about some of the static cameras that we have. So today, the back hills, you've got 3 static cameras. You've got a hill 3, 4, and a hill 5. I paused there. I talked over it, but again, bagpipes were out on day 2. Here you have some excitement on the back as Pioneers B is going to catch Fringe D and pass here on hill 4. You get a kind of double view of that between the static camera and the picture-in-picture. But yeah, so modern day, we've got 3 back hills cameras. There's a 3, a 4, and a 5. Back in 2001, there was 1 camera for the entire back hills, placed smack dab in the middle of hill 4. So you get some long distance shots of the back hills. But the hill 1 and 2 cameras are basically the same. Modern day, you also have an additional free roll camera between the top of hill 2 and Panther Hollow. So, not quite by Westinghouse Pond, but closer to Westinghouse Pond. So this is... this is SIG A with Genesis in lane 2, so you can see how the tallness of it going up against the wideness of Beta A in lane 3, and then Spirit B's Haraka in lane 1, who is, I believe, going to win this one. But again, the important thing here, Spirit B getting up over the hill before Beta, because Beta, in the 2000s, Beta didn't exactly have the best free-rolling technology out there. Though you'll see Beta at least thinking, the Beta driver thinking possibly of a pass, but it's going to soon become apparent that they're not particularly gaining on Spirit. So. There, you hear some faster calls. You get the debate in the lead truck between going faster so they're out of the ways of the buggy and going slower so they can actually get the buggies on camera. Yeah, so that's Spirit B's Haraka. It's interesting. They didn't back in the early 2000s. Spirit didn't necessarily repaint every year. I believe this is Haraka's paint job for a couple of years at least. But I could be wrong about that. I'm getting all my years confused at the moment. So. Yeah, Rob pointing out in the chat that the free roll camera is closer to Panther Hollow Bridge than Westinghouse Pond. The so I can't remember if I fully explained. So in 2024 there's 2 free roll cameras, I believe. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong, but there's 2 free roll cameras. There's one at Panther Hollow Bridge and there's one a little earlier. In 2001 they only had one by Panther Hollow Bridge, so there's the Hill 2 camera will follow the buggies for a lot longer. And we have to go to lead truck video sometimes to get coverage where it's missing. So here's your eventual winner, Fringe A in lane 1 on the left, still going up against Pika C in lane 2 and CIA B in lane 3. And, Pika getting out to an early lead here, but Fringe catching them at the Hill 1 and a nice early shove to get them into the free roll first. But you get some nice separation here, and safe enough. It also looks like I believe there was a flagger just earlier. I think that's a Pika flagger, giving a little bit extra room for the crossover spot, but. I mean, Fringe flying up. We saw a one bump. We saw a bump and a shove on day 1. There's one, and then straight into the transition. Fringe absolutely a monster Hill 3 in this year. With Hill 4. Here's the 4-5, the nice 4-5 transition. And Fringe coming up again. Their time on day one was at 10:57. As they come up on the finish line here, putting even more space between themselves and Pika, coming across at a 2:09.07. That would set the mark to be beat a little bit later that Pika would be trying for. Pika coming across with a 2:16 flat, and then CIAB with a solid 2:22.9 in third. As we jump now to technically men's heat 6, with Pioneers A in lane 1, SigTau in lane 2, and CAD in lane 3, but this day, CAD is pushed by a women's push team, so they're DQ'd for a roster violation. So Pioneers A with Helios clearly in the lead going into the free roll. But you know, CAD, the women's push team, keeping up with SigTau. And they're not going to be super far apart. We're not going to get to see a lot of SigTau here. SigTau racing for the, participating in Buggy during the 90s and early 2000s, but this would be one of their last years. CIA rolling against Stealth as the cmuTV announcers referred to it as the coffin team. Clean turn there for Helios. Only a couple of points. You can see in the picture-in-picture CIA catching up to SigTau Spitfire. I mean, they're both, and you can see it on the main screen now. They're pretty close together. It'll pull apart a bit on the back hills, but boy, there is something to the idea that heavy buggies will roll the free roll a lot faster. Tommy in the chat saying, I presume you've all heard the story of Brazen Rear Wheel already? I don't know if I have, but if you want to tell it, either jump in the chat or either jump on the voice chat or you can type it out and I will read it out because I don't know if I'm familiar with it. But at the very least, there might be some people who aren't. Shafiq pointing out that the CAD women's team is the women's team that got screwed by the push bar on day one. So when we saw Conquest push bar not come up, I guess as punishment for not letting the push bar come up, they were forced to push Stealth on day 2. But again, I mean, at 243.8 for SigTau Spitfire, that's a 251.4 for Stealth. That 251.4 would have put that women's team in 8th, where if you imagine they had a better buggy than Stealth to push, that would have worked out pretty well. So let me tee this one up. The new heats for day 2 had been working. I mean, we saw there was one pass on the back hills, but otherwise things were pretty spread out. That's about to change. This is the one new heat that didn't work. CMU B with 10th Commandment in lane 1, FICAP A with Celerity in lane 2, and ADRB's Pagan in lane 3. Pagan having a rough year. One thing you never want is a CMU buggy going into the free roll that third and that close behind, because again, they know how to get their buggy rolling. But you start off here with who is it? KDRB in the lead and FICAP A in second. FICAP looking to pass and CMU coming up on the inside. I mean, you can see how tight they all are. FICAP going to try and pass on the inside towards the transition flag, with CMU coming up on the outside, and it's going to leave FICAP in a very rough predicament. I mean, they've already bumped CMU once there. I believe they bumped a second time, and then, I mean, FICAP, which is in third now, has nowhere to go. And they spin and hit CMU in the back as they spin out. And then we'll see a neck and neck battle on the back hills here. But it's a rough one. I will go back and we'll rewatch the couple of bumps beforehand at the end of this. But this is a tough heat. So again, like I said, I mean, we only have the camera angles. If you're not seeing a race and you're wondering why are we sitting at the hay bales, unfortunately, that's the only camera we have at that moment. The lead truck was pulling ahead for this part of the day. We don't have, or the follow truck is stopped behind the stopped buggy, so we don't have those. And cmuTV's coverage stuck with that. So we give what we can. These times are CMU at a 230.6 and KDR-B at a 223.59. So KDR was not given a reroll for this race. I guess they were deemed unaffected of having been the lead buggy. I don't know if I buy that, but so if I can go back for a second. So if you watch the lead truck video up here, you can see the first bump now between FICAP and CMU, and then FICAP drifts out, and really they do bump again, but there's really just nowhere to go. And then obviously at this point, FICAP trying to make the turn, but doesn't really have a lane either direction to. They can't take it tight because CMU's there. They can't take it wide because KDR's there, and the only thing that just it leaves you with no option, and they end up spinning out. So we don't have to watch the spin out again, but that's the worst and only real incident on day 2 for the most part. There are a couple of other things that happen, including one in this race, and now we actually get cmuTV back. They kicked it back on after the spin.
And yes, we hear some cheering.
And it looks like we're off. I'm interested to see how good Pika B actually runs, since Pika C did so well.
Oh yeah. The Spirit and Pika, folks, it really just doesn't get better than this. This is so interesting.
And Pika B is taking the lead. Coming down the hill.
Over Spirit's, what team is this?
I think it's Spirit B team.
Spirit B team? Oh wow.
Spirit C team, actually.
Oh wow. So yeah, so it should be expected that they be in the league because there's Spirit B over because it's a B team over C team. So it's interesting because they're basically all three of them are competing against each other for the #1 spot. So it is still interesting to see them.
And Pika B is first right now, and Spirit C is a close second.
So Pika B rolling Zeus here.
Flaggers.
Yeah.
Fringe C with basket case, and Spirit C with what's Spirit C rolling? Spirit C's rolling.
And we're coming around.
But take a look. Keep your eyes on the follow truck picture in picture here, because Spirit and Fringe are pretty close together, and things are going to get.
And what a nice pickup.
A little more difficult for both. So again, keep your eyes on the follow
Anyone
truck
coming up
picture
in
in
the exchange
picture,
zone?
especially at the 3-4
304.
transition. So you got Spirit in the ahead of Fringe.
Spirit Beat is right behind them.
So the Spirit C pusher runs directly in front of Basket Case. That
This is
was a
very. Oh
DQ
wow,
for interference. Spirit ends
that's
up
great
DQ'd
running
out of
right
this
there.
race.
Nice
Fringe given a reroll.
pickups by the pushers. They're giving it their all, folks.
I can't imagine that's fun for a driver to go
Heater
through.
though. It looks like Pika B's taking
But
it home. They have a
the
commanding
two
lead
teams
over
stay
Spirit
pretty close
C,
together there as well.
who is second place right
Pika
now.
B obviously pulling ahead and setting the bar high, but they put up a 2:13.8,
Looks like Pika B has won
which
this
is
race.
good for fourth place. Obviously 2:09.07 was the Fringe time, but we already have Pika C in with a 2:16 and Pika B with a 2:13.8.
Exactly.
So if
nowhere
you
to go but up
you
from
know,
there, hun.
they're probably
Looks
you
like
got to
there's
think they're.
a lot more people
If
coming
you
out
were
right
there
now.
and didn't know their times beforehand,
People
you
just need to
figure, oh, a
sleep
2
in.
to 3 second
Another,
increase.
we have 2 flaggers down.
It's going to be close.
That looks really cool.
And it turns out it
I would
is.
like to sleep. I would love to sleep.
What a Kodak moment we have right there.
I see your true colors.
Looks like we may have to have. Looks like we may have to have 2 more heats because Spirit A still hasn't run and neither has Pika A, and I couldn't imagine them running in the same heat.
Yeah.
And again, CMUTV doesn't really know what's going on in terms of the teams or the heats or anything. They are right. There are 2 teams to go. There are 2 heats to go.
Since they're so close.
Yeah, that is very true. So true. Oh boy. I really hope it doesn't rain.
Looks like Fringe A's time is still first.
Yes.
Ooh, there's even
is the time to be.
there's a message in the Discord with some secret 2001 free roll times.
It looks like a record is possible.
From
right?
I believe I assume it's
at this point, especially.
actually probably the week before truck weekend. So then
The Tartan predicts. Who they predict would win?
So CMUTV often talking about the quote-unquote tartan predictions. By that they're referring to CMU Buggy, CompuBookie, I mean.
Spirit A, and Fringe B. Oh boy.
And
Spirit
CompuBookie
in
predicting
the
Fringe
lead.
to win in
Spirit
2001, with I believe Pika second and Spirit third.
And there's Ed for Fringe. He's
Uh,
Diesel.
this one,
Look at them go.
this heat is Spirit A
So
with
money and he doesn't
Shaka
even
going
know
up
it.
against CAA's new
Very
Buggy
slow,
Mirage,
very
or newer Buggy,
very
new Buggy,
fast.
newer Buggy,
Fast pusher.
newer Buggy, built in 2000.
Now,
And
they don't
Fringe
be
B
close together,
with Bocce.
because, as
Again,
you said,
after the incidents
them being
from
so close together is all-
Friday,
often-
Especially around the
splitting up
turns.
Fringe
that
B
can
and
also-
SPCA
that can
this
lead
time,
to
and
a
Fringe B
crash.
going into this
We
one
want to avoid already
third,
there's broken
second.
crashes, 2 yesterday
Sorry.
and 1 today.
Again, CIA with their dropping push bar.
Looks like Spirit A is in first place right now.
But
and
this
Fringe B is in
one
second.
still a little close, but a little more spread out, and you don't have the issues that you had day one for.
Okay, and yes, and they're coming, and it'll be
For Fringe.
interesting to see how far up the hill it goes, don't you think?
I always like this paint job
Yeah.
on Shaka
And there's
Zulu, which
that,
to me
leading
looks like a
car.
shark. I don't know if that was the intent or if that's what other people
Oh,
think,
car
but
should
I
be
always
closely
think of it as a
behind.
shark.
Ooh, that was a far one up the hill. Excellent, excellent.
Excellent pickup.
Oh,
by
great.
Spirit.
That was great.
And that's a
pickup.
tight battle in the back.
Wonderful. Yeah, I think we can.
All
say
three
who's
teams
gonna win.
pretty
I think it's a safe thing.
pretty
to
close together.
say right now. They're
Oh, and
very
here
close.
comes the tank from Fringe B.
They're
Look at him
close.
push that.
They're very close,
Bookie
folks. They're
correctly
very close.
predicting
Look at
that
that stride by
Spirit A
Spirit
would
A.
finish third here.
Yeah.
Fringe B is right behind him though.
It is
Still
true.
win.
This is a B team that is right behind them, folks. Oh wow, look at him run. Yeah, I think it's safe to say we have a winner.
And CIA is catching Fringe B.
Yeah. Oh wow. And we have a winner. It
And that is a
Spirit
2:11.69 for Spirit
A. Coming
A.
up shortly. Oh, in the second
But you can
place
see the
is
push
Fringe
bar
B.
DQ there
CIA
for
let go of the,
CIAA.
push bar.
CIAA's
Uh-oh.
time
Disqualified.
of 2:17.09 would have put them 10th. Would have put them in the trophy running,
Yeah, it's
or in the
it's
not trophy running, in the day 2 running. If this were day 2, Got some posts of a still of the three buggy shoot turn from Heat 8.
Spirit won that race with a time of 2:13, but that's still not good enough to beat
McHugh pointing out
Fringe A's time of
that this pic
2:09.
might be on the website. I don't know if it is, so if it's not, it will be soon. I will tell you that. Out of curiosity, McHugh, do you know who took that picture?
What's the weather looking like, Sola?
Still cloudy. Still rainy.
Looks like Pika A's getting ready to run in Heat 10. What's your prediction for this?
Prediction for what, hon?
Do you think Fringe A will maintain first place, or do you think Pika A will overtake him?
I don't know. You never know. You never ever know.
And the flagger has got up after a 2-hour hibernation.
Yes, a 2-hour hibernation for the flaggers. So this is the last of the main men's heats from Saturday. You got SDCB with Sambuca in lane 1.
And we're back.
Pika A.
We have an update about
with Jackal
Heat
in
9.
lane 2.
Spirit
and
A
KDR A
first with a time
with
of 2
Pentas in
minutes,
lane 3.
11 seconds, and 99 milliseconds.
And they're off. They are off, people.
Now again, Pika A aiming
And it
for
looks
a
like Pika's in the lead.
209.07. That was the time to beat. And they are flying uphill 1. Not an early shove though, and maybe that was the difference. Maybe the early shove, which we also saw on Raceday 2024. Maybe it turns out that's the right way to do it all along, and no one knew any better.
Spirit A is in second, and Pika B is in third currently.
Spirit is after Fringe, but this will determine whether Pika A.
So Pika A way out in front here, but if you watch the follow truck video now in the picture-in-picture, KDR is currently in third and is going to try and move out to potentially pass SDC, but isn't quite going to get there. But things are going to get closer. You can already see they're super close together at the transition flag. They do get closer.
We are on the ball. Thank you very much.
Again, if you kind of focus on the follow truck picture-in-picture, and you watch these two buggies in the rollout.
Very important that they go
or even possibly in the big picture. The two buggies do appear to possibly bump, and KDR makes the pass.
Crashes, which is very good, folks.
But that bump,
going really fast.
if you will, was enough to get KDR a reroll.
Yeah, and there are the Pika Scouts. Funny enough. We spot them. They look as if they're ready to
and I believe it actually got both KDR and SDC both rerolls. Sweepstakes determined that neither was at fault for that. They both, I guess, wouldn't have seen each other there.
KDR A and
so they were both granted a reroll. And just based on the times alone, that did seem to affect both of them because both buggies' reroll times were 2 seconds faster than their actual times here.
And KDR has finished.
Pika ready to cross. We didn't see that cross. Very interesting. Which is the way they like it because
so that was the last of the regular heats, but we do have 3 men's rerolls coming up. The first is going to be Sig
And it looks like Fringe A
who gets the
is still in
reroll
first
from
place.
Thigh-Cap spinning out and hitting the tail of
Pika got about a time about 2
The second
2 minutes and 10
reroll
seconds.
is going to be this buggy KDR A, Pentas, going up against Fringe C.
So the
That
tartan
would be
predictions
Basket
were
Case.
correct.
That's from the Spirit C interference on the back hills. And then the third reroll is going to be
That's
just
right. You heard it here first
SDC
on
Sambuca
cmuTV.
rolling alone again from this heat.
Buggy news.
So we'll have those 3 coming up momentarily
Did they pass the drop test?
as we approach the end of the actual heats, and then we'll kick into interviews. Which, admittedly, I have it all in a playlist. I didn't organize them. I'll try and pull. Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention there, Pika's time of a 209.9 only good enough for second.
Any predictions?
I did not include it here, but if you watch the trailer after this,
Looks like
you can. There is a recording of the Fringe reaction when Pika. Well, Fringe's reaction and the rest of the crowd's reaction when Pika's time was put up on the AFIO's leaderboard.
This looks like
I believe
CMU
that's
right
towards
now.
the end of the
KDR
trailer,
has
but when
orange
you
shirts
hear
with
the
Fringe
huge eruption, that
has
is
sleeves on their
that is
shirts.
from Saturday
Not as
when they
fast
hung the
as,
times
not quite
for
as fast as we've seen some other
Pika
ones, but they're going at a
after
decent
Men's Heat 10.
pace.
Even if the trailer doesn't
It is
look
CMU.
like that. I cut that trailer together using whatever footage we had, but that is actually from
Wow,
the
look at that.
Pika men's time.
Wow. That just made me dizzy, folks. I don't know if the TV made you dizzy. It made me. Oh, great cross. See the flagger. There's the follow-up.
And you can see, I mean, as is often the case with rerolls, a lot of confusion in the rerolls. There's a Pika flagger out there, potentially getting ready to flag the transition. Pika not rerolling here. So it wasn't just CMU who didn't necessarily know what teams were rolling or what's going on. A lot of people didn't.
Compared to what other ones I see, hell yeah. Definitely. Look at that. Look at that. Ooh. Oh, slow.
Slow pickup.
Slow pickup. And that can cost me seconds. And as we learned before, a second means so much in Buggy. A second means so much.
A second does mean a lot in Buggy.
Yeah, that was a pretty good exchange to Hill 4. Does that pusher of blue hair also solo?
Yes.
Are they copying the Fringe B team?
I don't know.
Or is Fringe B copying them?
Your guess is as good as mine. Oh boy. Look at that.
So a fairly regular thing that used to be the case and has drifted away in recent years is that rerolls tended to be one Buggy heats to avoid the need for a second reroll, because if you don't have anyone going up against you,
Let's see if he
the
keeps his
odds
hands on
of
the
there
push ball.
being something that would warrant a reroll pretty low. But that's not going to be the case for men's reroll 2, and I'm not exactly sure why they decided that.
Okay, folks.
I don't.
Oh, drop test, very important, like we said earlier.
I'm very curious because it is going to be KDR A's Penthus
right
going up against
now.
Fringe C's basket case.
Wow.
They're
Hardcore,
sufficiently
man.
separated,
Hardcore.
so it's not.
Okay.
There was never that much of a risk, but I don't know if KDR spins out, then you need another reroll for Fringe. That would.
All right, and we're back.
We are back and we are ready. Do you think the Pika Scouts have retired, or are they still going to be there for the women? Oh, ooh. This is a reroll that's already started. KDR A team. Looks like they're running fast. They're Buggy.
So one thing that you can kind of see on the videos, and I haven't really pointed it out, but something you don't see anymore is at each of the starting line and each of the transitions, there's someone on the side holding up.
Well, I guess they are going faster.
I'll call it a flag. It's probably like a no parking bag or something, but that holds it up and then drops their arm at the starting line to indicate, when the gun goes off. But for each of the transitions, I believe it's
look at
to
that. That is a nice turn.
make sure that it's to confirm that they got the Buggy off within the transition zone. I don't know exactly what the purpose
people
is.
in those things, people that fit into that. And that was our wonderful flaggers. That's
But
the follow car.
it is interesting to see that, to see how some of these things have changed over the years.
That is great. Sleek car, man.
You can also see the hay bales in the chute. There are far fewer of them back in 2001 than there are in
it's going around.
2024.
Let's see how far up it goes. Let's see how the pickup. Oh, the pickup is relatively good. Oh, very. Oh, wow.
Suggestions
And
that the Hill 2
crossing
would have been
the
DQ'd
finish
in
line.
2024. Maybe.
Very quickly.
If you're
We're
talking
almost
about
there. We are
for
almost there,
lane
people.
violations, the lane violation rules were changed
Another
this
20
year.
They're almost there.
Yeah, so-
They're almost there. Look, and this is the last pickup.
2023.
What is
Much
going
more
on?
likely.
Oh, now he
2024.
touches the handlebar. Oh, yes.
Maybe. Maybe not.
Yeah. There we have a winner of
As
this
they come across. Again, KDR
reroll
shaving 2
heat
seconds off in the reroll time.
of
Fringe
two
C
people.
doing the same. Fringe C actually, weirdly,
I don't-
Fringe C got a second
They
slower
can.
on that roll.
Dude,
So,
this is for
you know,
you know,
it's
there
the
are some
risk
people who
it's
are
the
not
risk you take
appreciated.
in
Yes,
getting
the
taking the
drivers and the
reroll,
pushers
but
get the glory. But then there are
lost
the
a
other
spot.
people,
Instead of
the people
finishing
behind
16th,
the
they
scenes.
finished
What would
17th.
we do without our flaggers and our sweepers? What would we do?
Look how versatile.
Yes, they have been the most patient people. They've been dancing and they have been sleeping.
Sitting Indian style.
See, they have been very, 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 like I said, there are a lot of people that are just not as appreciated as they should be, and we want to give props out to all you sweepers and to all you flaggers.
As a former flagger myself, I appreciate the shout out there from CMU-TV. It's an
Race, but we don't know what it
underappreciated
is. And
role.
also, they've taken the yellow bags off.
So
And
this
there's
is
another mystery. I thought that they were going to redo the girls, the finals for the girls, but
CMU-TV also confused that by removing the no parking bags, they seem to think that there are not going to be any more races. That's not true. They will be corrected of this eventually.
They've started something. They have started something. People, this is the race, I think, that they have started that we were talking about. Here we go. Here we go. Now,
Yes, they did in fact start something.
this is SDC, people.
It is a
SDC.
race. I don't know what they were talking about before.
Hey, you know what?
But it is
Whatever
SDC
gets
B's
you Buggy's
Escarga.
favorite. That's what it's
Sambuca.
all about,
I'm going to
Buggy
keep
and
doing that. I don't
nothing
know why.
else.
They didn't even roll Escarga this year.
We are commending it.
While this is happening, I will say, because I said I was going to do this during the trivia,
You know what?
one buggy got
Just-
queued a
it
month
looks like
before
it
Race
looks
Day,
like
and
it's
that
going-
buggy was SDC
No, it's not the
Sisu.
fastest that we've seen a buggy
If there are
go,
any
but it's not
SDC
the
folks
slowest.
around, you can maybe explain why. I believe my understanding was there was some like
You just saw the
it was
intensity of
they
the
they
buggy. I mean, Harry Sang,
they put
he's,
together a
he's a well-known guy on
configuration
campus. He's
that
just very outspoken.
was
I know for a
not
fact if you hand him a mic and say,
approved
"Hey, how's the weather?"
by
He will
the
talk
safety
for 5
chair,
minutes and tell you
and they
everything
tried to roll with
you wanna
that,
know about
and
the
so
weather
that
and
led
then
to the
some.
DQ.
So,
But I
you
I
just see the
could be wrong
intensity
about that.
with Harry
But they
Sang.
did.
He's the pinnacle
Sisu
of,
was DQ'd
SEC
from Race Day
buggy.
about a
I wanna
month
give them some
before
props
Race
right
Day
now.
began.
Is that snow out there that we see? Or that we saw before?
So
Or am I hallucinating?
Sisu is the one that did not end up
Seeing,
rolling
Roger. I don't think
in
that there is
2001.
snow. I think if there is anything coming down from the sky, it's going to be the little raindrops.
Looks like STC is coming up on Hill 3.
And
Look at
you'll
that bump and
see
run.
you'll
Look
see
at
as we
him
get to
go.
the interviews in a
Look at
bit.
that stride.
I
They're
believe
coming up on the
SDC's
exchange.
shirt in 2001
Reiterate
was designed
the handle
to
issue.
Handle- You mean push
respond
bar.
to the safety chair's DQ of their buggy.
Well, you have to keep your hand on the push bar going past the finish line, or else you're disqualified. And as we saw before, CIA A team was disqualified for not having their hands on the push bar before.
Just like that, folks. That's all it takes. 1 second of indecision, and that's all.
I'll tell you what else you have to watch out for is the actual. Oh, here we come to the finish line. Let's just watch this and make sure that you grab the push bar like you've been talking about. Once again, it's very important. Sometimes you're just in the heat of the moment. You just push that.
The fun fact in this reroll, they were actually joined in the booth by I forget who. I think it's someone from Fringe.
Oh, they have a
who actually knew what was going on and was trying to explain some of the
Okay,
stuff.
we're going to a package soon about history.
But I unfortunately can't remember who it was. Maybe the French people out there will recognize that voice and be like, all right. So the final beat here
First of all, let's just say that the
is going to be
the Pirates
women's
program has
finals
been
heat
rejuvenated
1.
here in Pittsburgh. And,
This is Spirit A.
He's definitely impressed with this whole buggy competition. Oh, here
with
we are, back in
Baraka
Hill
in lane
and we are
1,
ready at the
and
starts.
Fringe B's Bandit
Probably getting the count
in
down.
lane
I can't
2.
hear it, but oh, there we go. There we go.
As we watch this
Now,
race,
I don't understand
if you
this.
take a
We have
look
another-
at the picture-in-picture, you'll start to see
How come
raindrops.
there's only 2? Spirit A and Fringe B, people. Spirit A and Fringe B. Remember, the top 3 teams to look out for: Spirit, Fringe, and Pika. Look at them go. Look at them. Look at them. Look at this.
CMU-TV
SCC
again
too. Yes,
confused.
we don't see SCC, but they are there.
Confused by the fact there's only 2 buggies, even though half the races so far have only been 2 buggies.
She got it. She just got it, people. look, it doesn't get any better than this. When you have 2 out of the 3 teams to watch competing against each other, it cannot get any better than that.
She also doesn't seem to know the difference between Fringe A and Fringe B.
Look at that curve.
But again,
look at that. Now that's going pretty fast. Even
you know,
if it is behind.
they probably didn't have
And
the
look at the follow-up car.
heat schedule up there. So.
Wonderful job. Keep on following. Keep on following, car. Keep on following. Wonderful. Wonderful. Look
okay. It was
turn.
Revo in the
Look at that thing sticking up.
who was on camera there, or who was the voice that you were hearing. So I believe he was safety chair in 2001. So they actually had the safety chair up there, which
Wonderful.
it would take a little while before we realized that hey, it might actually help to have Buggy people
And there you
in
go.
the broadcast
There's another
booth.
one. Look at the designs. Aren't you like the designs are pretty? We're looking at some nice designs here, aren't we? Very, very nice. Haraka's push, as we've just learned. Oh, look, it's going up the hill. This is what matters, folks. This is what matters, folks. Yes, great pickup. Nice pickup. Excellent.
Now I'm a little curious to the
them
Fringe
go.
folks in the chat here because
Look at those legs go. The one
what
hand
happened in this heat? The Buggy got 14 seconds slower.
You know
So again,
they
if
will
you
have
look
their
at the
hand
picture-in-picture
on the
now,
push
you'll
bar.
start to see raindrops on the follow truck. So
Go
that's
Sheree,
why
Sheree,
this is going to be the last heat.
birthday. It's your birthday. Go Sheree. Go Sheree. Look at them go. That is
But I'm very curious what led to a 14-second drop when Spirit got like half a second faster.
Courtney is receiving. Oh, go Courtney. Courtney, thank you so much for seeing that Scotch and Soda musical last night. And that's for the rest of you. It is free. You can see today at 4 and tonight at 8, but it's the last time to see this world premiere musical. And Courtney was there representing. Thank you, Courtney.
And if any of you were there representing and watching the Scotch and Soda world premiere show in 2001,
and I think
do you remember how it was? Was it any good?
Of that, it looks like Spirit has it. There we go. They did. They kept their hands on the push bar. Now they have to do their drop test. It is so important. So important. People, you can't miss the drop test. You miss it, and that is it. There was no point in doing the race if you missed the drop test, okay? The drop test, you have literally 2 minutes to go and make sure you have to, it has to, go down the hill. And
more importantly, the repercussions of it starting to rain are pretty devastating to the Pica girls team. If it does rain, I think that these roles will be canceled, and the results of yesterday's prelims will become the finals. And that puts Fringe A in the #1 spot and Pica A girls in the #2 spot by the narrowest of margins, like I said before. So, for Pica A girls, we want to keep the rain away, do a little rain dance, keep the rain away, so they have a chance to show their power and strength. But the umbrellas are up. The rain is not too heavy right now, Solo, but I think there's a chance that it could start picking up. I'll tell you what, the Fringe A team for girls, this is what they've been hoping for. They've been hoping for the rain. They posted a good time yesterday, and they want to have that time be the one that lasts.
Fringe must feel as if they're on top of the world. You are an organization that's relatively new, and you have taken the #1 spots, basically. And how does that feel to be on that team?
Well, I am a new member to the whole Fringe organization. However, we are not new. It actually started in 1969, I believe, by some architects.
Yeah, so Fringe, a relatively new organization, huh? All right, so that is it for the heats. We're gonna show some of the packages and interviews. I'm gonna jump quickly to one of the interviews with. I unfortunately didn't order these, so most of the interviews are just at the end. So I'm gonna jump to the one with Carla, who is hopefully still in the chat. She's also the Fringe A driver for Brazen. It is somewhere. Let's see. Looking. There we go. So we're gonna watch this, and then I'll jump back to the beginning of the packages, and then I will shut up.
We're going to an interview with Patty and Stephanie. Well, actually, here it is with Stephanie.
Hi, I'm with Carla, a driver for Fringe A. What just happened out there?
The times were finally put up, the official times for the last roll, and we won.
That's fabulous. How do you feel?
I'm really excited. I'm still nervous, but I can't believe it.
So how long have you been driving?
This is my first year. I'm a freshman here.
Do you plan on doing it in the future?
Absolutely.
Do you have any suggestions for anyone in the future that would like to be driving? Do you have any special secrets or anything that you would like to pass on?
Secrets? I don't know if I actually have that much skill yet, but I just say, do it. It's fun. Everyone should drive.
Okay. That's fabulous. Congratulations. Thanks a lot.
So there you go. That's a little sampling of what the interviews, the live interviews were. There's one other one I want to show right now, and then I will do the packages, and then we'll just run through some of the interviews. This is an interview with. Where is it? 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 It's somewhere in here. Oh, here we go. This is an interview with Robert Bowie's daughter, Samantha, who was 5 at the time. She's now...
We will go to Steph and Patty.
Can you tell us what your favorite buggy is?
Spirit.
Spirit's your favorite buggy? Is this your first time watching buggies?
Yes.
Yeah. And do you think maybe one day you'd like to drive a buggy?
Yes.
Would you win?
Yes.
Very good. Thank you very much, Sammy. Enjoy the race.
I actually sent that one to Robert.
We are going to an interview with Patty.
Oops. All right,
Hi,
so...
I'm here with 3 girls on the soccer team, Kim, Christy, and Cindy.
Well, I guess we'll watch this one.
Kim, is this your first time at Buggy?
Yeah, it is. It's pretty exciting. We're rooting for 2 different teams, so on the girls' side, so it should be pretty fun.
What's your favorite part of Buggy, Christy?
I think it's just the crowd showing up and everyone rooting for their friends and stuff, getting up this early after a night of partying. It's pretty cool.
And Cindy, have you been involved in Buggy at all?
No, not really. There's a bunch of friends on the soccer team that are doing it. But other than that, we've never really done anything with it.
All right, thank you very much, girls.
All right, let me try and go up to the... All right, so I'm going to run through the packages and the interviews. Again, I won't talk because it's the audio that's the important thing here, but we'll watch it. You know, feel free to keep watching. Feel free to jump off. If people want to jump in, again, I'm happy to pause and we can go back to individual heats, and if people want to reminisce about their own heats, feel free to jump in the Discord and stop me. But otherwise, let me find audio somewhere here, and I don't know if this makes it louder or not, but we're going to go back to here and just kind of let this run through.
A driver's tale. Those that hold the shortest but certainly not the smallest roles in Buggy are the drivers, who usually don't exceed 5 feet in height. Many people who are vertically challenged find their height to be a burden, but for a Buggy driver, it's a blessing. Ask a Buggy driver what their favorite thing about Buggy is, and they would most certainly tell you the freedom, the anxiety, the excitement.
The drivers that have massive respect. They go down the hill in what we build, and they trust us that it's good and safe, and that they'll make it back up the hill.
Buggy drivers have among the most exhilarating of jobs, driving the tiny car down the course, feeling the buggy's momentum, and feeling every movement of the pusher, from the strain of a pulled muscle to the weakness of Hill 4.
It was just a fun time, and that's why I stayed with it.
Driving is positively thrilling.
Yeah, nice shot of SA's shocker there with the dice in the mirror. Yeah, that sweet soundtrack is a sweet soundtrack. It's also a
A
DPA
Mechanic's
issue,
Tale.
but, you know, whatever.
A buggy mechanic has a highly involved job, getting acquainted with what works logistically for a buggy and what doesn't.
It wasn't really a decision, it just sort of gets in your blood, and
Mechanics are driven by the constant pull to fix even the seemingly unfixable. They work for hours fixing and improving their buggies in hopes of going faster and faster each weekend.
Trying to figure out what you need to do to make it go faster.
you know, at one point I was just sort of goofing off on a piece of plywood, and next thing I know, here I am, head mechanic.
They conduct last-minute repairs right on the course, suffer injuries, and miss periods of sleep, all in the pursuit of a fabulous free roll.
I like to make things go fast, and if I can't drive it, I might as well build it.
Essentially, mechanics are dreamers who convert their dreams to reality. A Pusher's Tale. Sometimes it takes something that you love to do to urge a person out of bed in the morning, especially at 6 a.m.
Proper introduction, fluctuating the vocalization at warp speed. Heat, style with the style of rhythm produce loose. Literature sure to receive screens of encores for iPlast tour pleasure in the form of freestyle on file with a 9-pound etc. Measured all contents against the best concoction of catchy phrases. The outcome is that mine is ageless and yours is senseless. Kiss from the UK to LA, throw French kisses at me. Bahama DD, epitome of MC.
I just push for fun.
Shalom.
Buggy pushers have among the toughest and most physically demanding jobs of all of those involved in buggy. They have the incredible task of pushing the buggies up the hills of the Shenley course. The pusher lives for the thrill and the pain of the push. In fact, they thrive on it and live for it.
To raw forms to form new forms of mood for you to move on into millennium.
Energetic, athletic portion, well, whatever athleticism I can put into it, portion of it, I enjoy. It's good stress relief, just hanging out here on the hills with the guys and girls and everybody, so.
Proper introduction, fluctuating the vocalization at warp speed. Heat, style with this child of rhythm produce loose. Literature sure to receive screens of encores for iPlast tour pleasure.
To a pusher, nothing beats the excitement of the screaming crowd at Hill 5 just before the finish line. Without the pusher, buggy wouldn't be possible.
Kiss from the UK to LA.
Those are your tales. So now we've got an interview with Ann Wichner, who I don't believe was sweepstakes advisor at the time.
Annual Carnival and Buggy require many levels of leadership and control to ensure the events of the weekend run smoothly. cmuTV spoke with former director of student activities Ann Wichner, who served as advisor for Buggy for many years.
I've been at Carnegie Mellon since 1977, 1978, and I came here to be the director of student activities, and one of my areas of responsibility was advising the Buggy Sweepstakes Committee.
Dean Wichner remembers what it was like when she first began her position.
It took me a while to get my feet wet and feel comfortable in doing what an advisor does. And I spent a lot of time in angst, and I still feel in angst over Buggy because it's so, it's dangerous, and it's something that's so unusual. We want to preserve it, but it takes so much energy and trust and hope that things are going to work out right.
But it takes more than trust and hope to guarantee a smooth race day. A lot of work goes into ensuring Buggy comes off without a hitch. Most of Ann Wichner's jobs as advisor involved working closely with the student leaders of Buggy and the city of Pittsburgh to make sure race day runs smoothly and safely.
To work with the executive committee, you have a hard job. These are students who are overseeing other students, and they have an impossible job because they're working with students who, you know, want to win and sometimes don't see the big picture. And the big picture is that, you know, the streets are for everyone, and we're lucky that we're able to get them. And everyone in Pittsburgh doesn't live and breathe Buggy. And I've had so many students ask me, well, don't they know what Buggy does for the community? And, well, it does a lot for the CMU community, but, you know, if you live in Oakland, if you're, you know, you don't know they're going on and you want to get through the park, you know, it's understandable that you're upset if some policeman stops you. But you know, we work with FIPS, we meet with them, we have to have city police because we're on city streets, and they know the drill. The officers do a great job. They come out and they know what they have to do. But there's a lot of hoops we have to jump through to you know, make this happen so that other people are happy and so that, you know, it works for everyone.
Anyone involved in Buggy today knows there are a lot of rules and regulations concerning every aspect of the race. Ann Wichner, formerly advisor to the Buggy Sweepstakes Committee, tells a story of how those regulations have evolved.
And a lot of organizations that were, you know, in 5th and 6th place started to do things like cut corners as it related to rules. And I was getting word of that from alumni and people who I knew who weren't involved in the running of Buggy, but made me more aware as their advisor that we need to watch out for some activities that organizations were doing to kind of do what they could to cut, you know, hundreds of seconds off. There were a lot of things that were happening. In '86, we had a bad accident at the top of Hill 2, and an organization that was heating their wheels had a flash explosion in their truck. And luckily, no one was seriously injured. People were hurt and there were burns. But that point in time was a revelation for me that I'm just going to put my foot down and do what I can to help the students, regardless if students get upset because some buggies were going to become eventually obsolete because of some of the rules we put in effect. But it's too important, the safety of students, and also this tradition. What can we do to keep up with, you know, an organization such as Buggy, to keep it alive, not squelch students' technology, but make it a safe and a fun event. We ended up having the rules rewritten with a group of alumni. The newly elected Buggy chair people for 86, 87 had a tough job because they were the executive committee that was responsible for Buggy happening in a new way. Stricter rules. Those rules became quite tedious. They went from something like 11 pages to, you know, 109 pages. And this is my edition from, you know, 2 years ago, and there could have been rules added since then. But anyway, we formed this executive committee. You know, that first year we made it mandatory for all Buggy organizations, that was in the fall, to review these rules and read through them. And they're tedious. They talk about everything, everything imaginable.
It was the accident in 1986 that brought to light the need for stiffer Buggy safety rules.
When we had this accident, it was just, you know, telling that only 2 or 3 organizations had fire extinguishers. And that was, you know, just unfortunate. A good thing, but also it was telling that we needed these organizations to understand how serious Buggy was. So we put all kinds of rules in effect. And because there was a fire and we're using city streets, the safety, or the fire marshal came up. And at any point, anyone from the city can come up and shut us down. They can demand a look at Buggies. And we wanted to accommodate them. And we also, you know, wanted to involve them, but have the students understand what was their responsibility so that we could keep continuing this. So from Buggy 87 on, the environmental safety people on our campus work with the Buggy chairs. You know, they do a very elementary training session on fire safety. The executive committee, the sweepstakes committee, has to demand that all organizations have extinguishers in their truck, and we help provide them so that they're not taking them from other places on campus. Fire marshal from the city comes up on Buggy Day and can go in at any Buggy truck that he wants. and that doesn't sit well with some people, but the buggy chairs know that, and it's just something we have to do. This is too serious. We need to, this is just important. So we've kind of come past that. Helmets were not required up until 1987. Buggies were expected to be built so that a driver could withstand impact.
As would be expected, the new rules did not come into effect without some controversy.
Work that they had done had to be undone. Some buggies had to be totally scrapped because of the way they were designed, that they couldn't accommodate a driver wearing a helmet. We struggled for a couple years with the two-wheel buggy phenomenon, and it was just decided that organizations with students that are 18 to 22-year-olds aren't capable of designing a two-wheel buggy that's going to be stable on a course that has stones and debris, and it's technically just impossible to design the rules to make it okay for them to build them. And it was sort of a tough one. We talked about, should there only be four-wheel buggies? If there are three-wheel buggies, the third wheel be in the back, not in the front. I mean, this was hard, and this wasn't done to be punitive. It was done to protect the longevity of buggy, which is a fabulous tradition, and to ensure that there are safety standards built in. We had drivers training, and they still do that. We just went back and looked at the program as thoroughly as we could, and I think we did a great job.
Last year, Fringe placed second in sweepstakes for both the men's and women's A teams. One may ask how a non-Greek organization managed to do so successfully in an event dominated by fraternities. The motivation behind Fringe dates back to 1969, when a few students from the architecture department decided they wanted to get involved in Carnival, but still be independent. After winning an event at homecoming, Student Senate and the architecture department funded Fringe, so building a buggy and racing it the following spring would be possible. The first race in 1969 didn't roll over very well, but 32 years later, Fringe has climbed to the top. CMU-TV asked Jason Crawford why getting involved with Buggy is a must.
So I got involved with Fringe my sophomore year doing booth. Last year I was a junior and I was a co-chair for Fringe booth. And Fringe is a great buggy organization. I got to know a lot of buggy people. So through that I decided, hey, maybe I'll try pushing.
Two other pushers, Ethan Clay and Chris Stratus, also added to the enthusiasm of pushing for Fringe. When asked if pushing for Fringe in the future is a possibility, this is what Ethan had to say.
How long have you guys been pushing buggy for?
This guy's my fourth year. Yeah,
fourth year?
First year. First semester.
First semester. Are you new to the organization or new to the school?
Both.
So you're a freshman?
Freshman, yes sir.
Cool, so you can be pushing here 4 years from now?
All depends if I transfer or not. Hopefully I won't.
Fringe is constantly improving as they adjust their lineup to make racing as optimal as possible. This meeting is an example of behind-the-scenes teamwork as they finalize the pushers for Raceday.
And that'll be David, Steve, Matt, me, Ethan. Okay, we'll be on basket case this time. Then we'll have Bocce with Ryan G, Ryan M, John Davin, Cooper, and Jason Boxerman. Brazen will be going last.
The motivation for being active in Buggy for Fringe is different for many people, but for this group, the primary motivation is winning.
We want to win. We want to win. We're going to win. The women came in second last year. I think we can take it.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Great.
In this year's sweepstakes, Fringe is among the pre-race favorites to take it all, with Pika's team lagging behind last year's, Spirit in the depths of a building year, and both suffering preliminary round crashes. This might be Fringe's opportunity to grab the gold and take a first place that has eluded them for so long. With 32 years of experience behind them, will Fringe reach the winner's platform or will they have to go for number 33?
And here I thought they were going to say the secret to Fringe's success.
Buggy has been around nearly 100 years. The event has changed dramatically since its early years, but its current day form is pretty similar to the Buggy of even 30 years ago. Ann Wichner has been at CMU since the 1970s and she can testify that the one thing that has remained constant with Buggy is the spirit surrounding it.
I laugh when I come and help with Buggy now, and I'm driving. If I'm in the car or something and drive up, it could be any year. It looks the same to me. Down at the start line, or I'm not sure they're that much faster because it's different people. It's different people, and even though alums are helping, no, I think it's pretty much the same intensity. Same enthusiasm. I'd say it's pretty much the same.
There have been shifts and trends in winning teams through the years.
Spirit's been a great story. They, mid to late 80s, they came into existence, and for the first part of the 90s, they hold the course record, but they were, someone to be reckoned with. In the 70s, Beta had winning buggies. I think in the 50s and 60s, ATO, which is a fraternity that's no longer here, they were the winning house. So it's kind of fun to see how this changes. Pike has been the winningest house, and they've done real well for as long as they've been doing buggy. And now, according to the Tartan, there's a resurgence of the independent organizations who have a good chance this year, and that's fun to see. So from my perspective, I think it's nice that there's been some shifts in organizations doing pretty well, because it's sort of healthy competition, and I think it's kind of nice that it lets other organizations who might be happy with 8th, 9th, and 10th place know there's a chance. Because I can remember when Fringe, who did real well for years, came in within the top 10 about 5 years ago, and they were thrilled. And their goal over the next couple of years, and now that's a reality, has been to, be part of the top 6.
Through the years, new organizations have joined the buggy competition. It's tough being the new kid on the block in such a well-established organization, but at least early on in the year, new organizations can find a helping hand in the senior buggy participants.
And that is shown forth. Usually new buggy organizations, and Spirit's an example, and some fraternities that have never had buggies, they're examples of wanting to start, and other organizations help them. So there's really this camaraderie, but when it comes down to the last month of spring, when people are really vying and seeing Raceday, pretty close up, the competitive edge comes out. But I would say, in the fall, people are pretty excited to get more organizations on board. Everybody's under the same umbrella. It's not like Midway, where fraternities are together. There's fraternity competition, independent competition, sorority competition, and here you're racing against the clock. It's not like Greek versus independence. It's just, the clock. I sort of like that, because I was surprised that happened. So, it evolved that way, but I think it's a good thing.
There's no doubt, though, that some teams have an advantage when it comes to funds and resources.
Yeah, to some degree, because if they're getting funding from Senate, there's stipulations on how much they can get, and their argument can be not Senate, but the organization. Fraternity has more clout, so organizations are figuring out creative ways that they can get access to more funds, or do they need more funds? Because they don't have to disclose what they spend on their buggy, but it's pretty well known that some of the fraternities, are able to rely on alumni to do all kinds of things that enable them. Things that might cost money, but there's not like money transacted. It's just, and that's the way it is, and I think that's well known. Independents might not have that luxury, but they're certainly overcoming it, And then there is some alumni support with some of the organizations. I would say there is, but I think it's good. It goes to show that it's not just a Greek event like it used to be. It's for everyone and anyone.
So now we've got some live interviews. Well, live in
Hi,
2001.
I'm here with Alicia. Alicia, what team are you with?
I play with the soccer team, but I'm supporting everybody here.
Awesome. So, is this your first buggy experience?
Actually, it is, because I didn't come last year. I'm so glad I came this year, so it's fun.
Awesome. And how are you liking Carnival so far?
It's too much fun. I love it. Yeah, it's fun.
So, are there any particular buggies that are your favorite?
Well, I want Pica because my soccer girl's on there, so I'm rooting for Pica, but we'll see.
Awesome. So, how do you like Carnegie Mellon?
Carnival is ridiculous. Out of control.
Do you think that's a little... All right, well, thank you very much. Have an awesome carnival. All right.
It's a learning experience for everyone.
And we are going to an
We're gonna watch the
interview
interview with Carla
with
again because
Patty and
I'm
Stephanie.
going in
Well,
order.
actually, here it is with Stephanie.
Hi, I'm with Carla, a driver for Fringe A. What just happened out there?
The times were finally put up, the official times for the last roll, and we won.
That's fabulous. How do you feel?
I'm really excited. I'm still nervous, but I can't believe it.
So how long have you been driving?
This is my first year. I'm a freshman here.
Do you plan on doing it in the future?
Absolutely.
Do you have any suggestions for anyone in the future that would like to be driving? Do you have any special secrets or anything that you could like to pass on?
Secrets, I don't know if I actually have that much skill yet, but I just say, do it. It's fun. Everyone should drive.
Okay. That's fabulous. Congratulations. Thanks a lot.
And now we're going to an interview.
Was coming back from the dead. Can you just tell us a little bit about when you pushed? What was the sentiment? How did you feel about doing it?
Well, we feel great to be out here, just like everybody else feels today. I mean, it's just terrific to come out and push in front of all these people and all the other alums that are here. And it's great to be back, and it's great to see that CIA is just really doing well this year. We just bumped SDCB off the board, so I mean, we're excited, and I think it's terrific.
Do you have any advice for any of the pushers for this year?
Yeah, just don't fall. I mean, I think that was a problem we had. I think maybe Shane fell. I don't remember now.
Okay, well, thank you so much for talking to us.
Sure.
I'm here with Oliver, the CIA. What is your position on Buggy team?
Oh, I'm on the B team and I push Hill 1. That's what I did.
So have you raced thus far?
Yeah, I just did. We raced probably 2 heats ago. We're in 6th right now. We're doing well.
Awesome. So what is your favorite part of being on a Buggy team?
I'd probably say getting up at 6 in the morning. No, that's not. the excitation that goes along with Buggy. I really wanted to get to race day and have fun. It's a really fun activity.
So is this your first time doing Buggy?
Yeah, this is my first time. I'm a freshman, so I wouldn't have any other opportunity. But yeah, this is my first time. It's pretty good. I love it. It's a nice thing.
So you have a good team this year, do you think?
Yeah, we're doing well. I mean, we're staying in the top 10. Hopefully we'll make it till tomorrow. I'm really confident that we'll do it. It's very good team.
So who do you think your biggest competitor is?
I hear it's Fringe this year, but KDR is supposed to come out of the blue with some surprise stuff. I don't know. I really haven't done my homework. I just focused in on what I was supposed to do and did it.
Very good job. Thank you very much. Good luck.
Thank you.
We're doing an interview right now.
I'm with Jason, who's a pusher for SDC. How do you think you guys are doing this year?
We're doing pretty good this year. Certainly, like, our pushers this year are really good. Like, we had a lot of fun this year. The Buggy, we were a little disappointed because the Buggy we wanted to use this year was unfortunately deep because of disqualified because of a braking pad problem. So we're not using our fastest Buggy, but I think all in all we had a really good roll this year. So we had a good time with it.
Are there any prominent people any prominent pushers or anything that you've noticed that's gonna help you guys in the long run?
Well, definitely like our Hill 1 pusher, Mike Walsh. He's a short guy, but he runs really, really fast. So he's definitely one of our best pushers, and he's doing a really good job for us.
Now, this is your first year doing this. Do you plan on doing this in the future?
Well, next year I'm hoping to run UAAs for track, so maybe not next year, but my junior and senior year I sure hope to be out here again.
That's great. Thanks so much for being with us.
You're welcome.
Hi, I'm Stephanie, and I'm with Nicole from Cap Alpha Theta. So this is your first year watching Buggy?
Yes, it is. I love it.
So what are your hopes? Like, who do you hope is gonna win? Do you have any idea at all?
Well, I think that Pika will probably win because they always do. That's what I hear at least. But I'm kind of rooting for FICAP.
That's awesome. So are you proud of any particular team besides FICAP?
I just think they're hot.
It's a good reason to pick a team.
Do you plan on joining anything with Buggy next year? Or?
I'd like to push, actually. It looks like a lot of fun, and the girls, I'm buff. I could do it, I think.
That's awesome. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
And we're off to an interview.
Hi, I'm here with alumni Don Michael. Don, were you involved in Buggy when you went to school here?
Yeah, I was both involved as a pusher and also a member of the mechanic and design team for our buggy here. SAE Buggy was just was coming back after a long hiatus while I was here, so we weren't necessarily competitive. When I was here, we never rolled on a Saturday. I mean, we never got past Friday, but we tried hard, and I think that was the foundation for the resurgence of SAE Buggy in the late '90s.
Uh-oh. What happened here?
Oh, now that you're back here at Carnival, how do you think things have changed since when you were in school?
Well, I don't see as many people out and about early in the mornings now as when I can recall. So I think there might be a little extracurricular activities going on in the evenings. But it's still good to see some familiar faces, see a lot of people out here and getting excited about the finals. Good weather would be nice. I mean, we've gone several years now with pretty bad weather. It'd be nice to see what a crowd would be like and really good weather.
So why do you think that so many people come back to Carnival?
Well, I think it's that people come back to renew old friendships, and I think the organizations, both the fraternities and then the other independent organizations, are really provide the mechanism for people to come back, the reason for people to come back. I mean, people aren't coming back to Spring Carnival to check out a library or a computer cluster, and I hope that the administration recognizes that and provides these organizations the support they need, because they're really the core of the Spring Carnival event.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
We're going to an interview right now with
Steph.
Oh, this is the guy who hates Buggy.
Hi, I'm with Dave, the official spectator for SAE's Buggy team. How do you think you guys are doing this year?
I have no idea. Probably not very good.
All right, so how many years have you been involved in Buggy, or at least?
0. I'm not really. I'm the official spectator. I mean, but besides that, really nothing.
So how many years have you been coming to Buggy and watching?
3, I think. Yeah.
So what's your favorite part of Buggy?
I don't like Buggy. Buggy sucks. It's early in the morning. It's not fun. It just, in general, kind of blows.
Really? So why do you spectate then?
Because if you're going to be up this early, you might as well come down and drink some Coca-Cola Classic.
All right, so is there any part of Buggy in which you like the most at all?
The part when it's done and over.
That's fabulous. Thank you so much.
Yeah, this was a terrible interview, wasn't it?
No, it was perfect.
Oh, good.
Thank you. Yeah.
Now the real question is, what's actually in that container? All right, so I'm going to try and skip these next two because we've already done.
Or we go to Steph and Patty.
Maybe.
Interview coming up with Steph or Patty.
Hi, I'm here with Zelinda. So Zelinda, how has your team done thus far?
Well, we came in 3rd and 10th in men's, and I think we came in 3rd with women's. I don't know if they're re-rolling it today.
So how long have you been involved with Buggy?
Well, this is actually my first year that I actually came out to Buggy, but I've been involved with Spirit for the past 4 years.
Awesome. So what's your favorite part of Buggy?
My favorite part of Buggy is the fact that the whole CMU community comes out for this. Like, they don't really come out for the football games or the track meets or whatever else we have, but they all seem to come out here, and they just have so much school spirit and so much, like, everyone's just happy. It's just a nice time.
And what do you think the best part of your team is this year?
Best part of my team? I think the dedication of our chairs. Our chairs they go above and beyond, and there's certain individual members within Buggy that are doing a lot. Same thing with booth. Our booth is, hopefully we'll win there, and we'll still be as happy, even though we're not first.
Good luck. You've done an awesome job. Thanks.
Thank you.
There are certain things that from a more looking at it from a competitive standpoint that you can see on a good roll. On race day, obviously, you can pick out the really strong hill pushers, and there's been pushers in the past since I've seen a few race days now that they'll get separation on hill 2, which is quite short, and it's amazing to see. Or you'll see the buggy come through the chute and just carry its speed up hill 3. They'll mark it by the windows on Baker Porter, and or they'll roll the plug, which is fire hydrant down there, the stairs, and just to see a buggy carrying its speed through there is it's fun to watch.
Hi, I'm with Kiari from Pika, who's a pusher. So how are you guys doing today?
We're doing pretty well. We're really excited about our chances. We rolled in 2nd and 4th today, so we're excited.
That's fabulous. How do you think you're going to do for the rest of the today and tomorrow?
The rest of the day, the guys A, B, and C look really good, so we're looking to sweep for some. I'm just kidding, but we're looking to do really good. And tomorrow we hope to do even better.
Do you have any suggestions or any things you want to improve at all for the next day or so?
Well, there's not much we can do now. We just hope that we get faster. Usually the second day is faster than the first, so we're just hoping that we'll be faster and we'll be fast enough to beat Fringe.
So is Fringe then your main opponent then?
Yeah, we rolled in 900ths of a second slower than them, so we're a little pumped to beat them.
Well, good luck with that. I hope everything goes well for you.
Thanks.
Thanks.
5-6 hours straight. We got a couple of Browns fans over there. Browns fans? Yeah, that's ridiculous. Those people have no clue what's going on here. They're still looking for the.
Yes. So, are you enjoying Buggy? What would your favorite part of Buggy be? Okay, so do you go to Buggy every year? Thank you very much, Scotty.
So how do you guys think you're doing this year?
Pretty good. Hopefully we'll come out with a place. Who knows? I guess we're just out here for fun, but hopefully we'll place.
Are there any key players that you think are are standing out more than anyone else?
As far as pushers, we got a couple of great guys this year. Even our B team. I mean, they're younger guys on the B team, so everybody's pretty much got the same chance of doing well.
That's great. Is there any? How many buggies do you guys have?
We have 2 this year. We have 2. One of our buggies was previously DQ'd about a month ago.
Okay. Great. Thanks a lot.
We're going up to an interview real soon with
Patty and Stephanie.
Hi, I'm here with Crystal with SDC. Crystal, what is your position on the Buggy team?
Well, I pushed Hill 1 for the A team.
Really? How'd you do this race?
Pretty good. I'm really happy with our time. Our team worked really hard. We're really glad that things came together for us, so we did really well.
That's awesome. What do you think is your best part of your team?
Well, I think we're very close, which has been good, and we're really supportive of each other. So I think we're very tightly. We had a good bond, so I think that's been good.
Awesome. So, what is your favorite part of Buggy?
Favorite part of Buggy? I think just the adrenaline, just the rush. I think it's just incredible. It's so unique to CMU, so I think it's just really cool to be a part of it. So.
Awesome. Congratulations on your team.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Hi, I'm here with Harry, who's a pusher for SDC. How do you think you guys are doing so far this year?
So far pretty well. I'm pretty happy with our time up here on the board. And our women's in the top 6. They're ranked 5th right now, so hopefully they'll race in the finals today and move up a couple spots. So I'm very excited about things. And our men's B team has still yet to go on, and we hope a couple of good stuff from them. So
That's great. Okay, so how long have you been involved in Buggy?
Well, I'm a senior this year, and I've been doing Buggy since my freshman year, so this is my 4th race day. It's very exciting to see a lot of people out, so I'm very excited about things.
So you've been pushing since your freshman year then?
Yeah, that's right, all 4 years now.
Oh, that's fabulous. I noticed the crazy hair. What
Hi, I'm here with Jenny, who is a driver for CMU. Hi, Jenny. So, have you raced yet?
I raced yesterday morning.
How did your team do?
We came in 7th by a second.
Oh, that's frustrating. So, what do you think was the best part on being on CMU's Buggy team?
They're all really great guys, and they're all really enthusiastic, very enthusiastic.
What was the best part about waking up at 6 in the morning?
I don't know if there was a best part. We had to wake up at 4:30 in the morning.
Oh, I'm very sorry. So Jenny, how tall are you?
I'm 4'11".
All right, well, thank you very much.
As a race, sweepstakes is a tough combination of runners that can go from a dead standstill to nearly 5 miles per hour, shoving 150 pounds up the hills behind Baker and Porter, lightweight drivers that cut the closest of corners in the chute, and mechanics that stay up until dawn tweaking every part. The race starts at the bottom of Tech Street, where the Hill 1 pusher starts the buggy from a dead stop to the transition. A good Hill 1 pusher doesn't need to be fast. The key is arm strength to give the buggy its first gain in momentum. At the transition, the Hill 2 pusher picks up from the Hill 1 pusher and pushes until the free roll transition down Shenley Drive. The key to a good Hill 2 push is a runner with enough speed to keep up with the buggy through the transition and enough arm strength to let the buggy shine during the free roll. For the free roll, it's just the driver and the course. The buggy rolls down Shenley Drive, past Westinghouse, hugging the inside edge of the turns to cut down on the distance from Hill 2 to Hill 3. They pass Panther Hollow Bridge as they glide by Phipps Conservatory and the Monument. A flagger alerts the buggy that they're entering the chute, a hairpin where Shenley Drive becomes Frew Street and Hill 3 begins. If the drivers don't watch their path through the chute, they'll fly into the hay bales, but if they're too careful, they'll lose speed and watch the rest of their heat finish first. The buggy loses speed as it exits the chute and rolls up Frew past Porter, which is where the Hill 3 pusher picks up. This push is speed intensive, though arm power is still important. This push can make or break a roll. Along Frew Street, teams start to think about their transitions. The Hill 4 transition is key. If the pusher doesn't pick up at the right time, the buggy can lose so much speed that the driver's efforts through the chute are lost. Hill 5 is the longest and hardest push. These pushers here are masters of endurance. The space between the Hill 5 transition and the finish line is a long, flat stretch of road that makes the difference between a perfect roll and a disaster. After they travel from the transition, the pushers have to do their best to keep the buggy speed up, but to keep pace with it. If their hands aren't on the push bar when they cross the finish line, the roll is disqualified. After they cross the finish line, the buggies go through drop tests to make sure the safety and braking systems match sweepstakes' rigorous rules. 2 minutes and 6 seconds is the fastest time around the course. We'll see if anyone this year will be topping Spirit's record.
And we've got the last package here.
Today, if you're a woman under 5 feet at Carnegie Mellon, you are a hot commodity for buggy teams. But organizations didn't always want women drivers. In fact, like Carnegie Mellon itself, buggy used to be an entirely male event.
I don't know the exact year they changed, but for years and years, and if you talk to some other alums, they'll tell you this, but organizations, the men's fraternities, looked hard for small men who could drive buggies. And even though buggies were bigger back then, they still had to be men who were pretty small. I would say they couldn't have been taller than 5'4". And then somehow they bent their rules, and in the 70s, Little Sisters became drivers of organizational buggies, and you'll still see some of that. There'll be a guy driver once every great while, but most of the drivers are women. because they're smaller. So, and that's another thing, when you have so many different buggies out there, it's hard to find drivers for all of them.
Even though there are lots of women involved in buggy today, there are as yet no women teams racing their own buggy.
Well, I think it's great, and I'm encouraging women that I know are in sororities to just bite the bullet and design their own buggy. And eventually that's going to happen. That'll be, in my mind, something you could predict. We have men's heats and a winner. We have women's heats, but again, it'll say, even if it's like all the women on the soccer team, it's not the soccer team buggy. It's like whose ever buggy they're driving. But I think there'll be a third division, and probably in the first year someone's going to win it because they're going to be the only ones in it. And I think someone should do it, and they should just build their own buggy, and it would be just great. Even if it's the issue of it being a great buggy off the bat, to me, is not the issue, but to sort of go into new territory. I think it's great.
Okay, we have another interview coming up. It's with Stephanie.
Charles from WRCT. I wanted to ask you guys, what do you think is going on? Like, what are your impressions of Buggy this year?
Buggy's a great time. It brings everybody together. It's this community atmosphere. You have all kinds of craziness going on. You have people excited. You have smiley cookies. I don't know if these were provided by dining services, but everybody gets in the act. I bet you even parking enforcement takes the day off. It's insanity.
What about you? What's your impression?
I've been around long enough. This is like my 15th carnival. I'm working on 20 here. It's just fun. It's like, some people say it's the only time the CMU feels like a real college.
Is there any team in particular that you guys are rooting for?
No, we are unbiased members of the press, and we do not care to make predictions of that sort. We have in our minds, we think this team is pretty darn good, but we can't really say that.
Okay. So would any of you ever consider taking part in Buggy yourselves?
I would like to get pushed around the course, put 4 wheels on me and just wheel me around. I'd be a human buggy.
How about you?
I think Chuck and I would make a pretty good combo. Yeah, I'm pretty small. It would work well. Chuck's a strong guy.
Great. Thanks a lot, guys.
Thank you.
And with that, that is the end of our 2001 Race Day rewatch. Hope you enjoyed it. The races themselves and all of the packages and interviews and stuff are going up on the YouTube channel over the course of the next week. They're kind of rolling out one by one, but if you jump in by next weekend, they will all be there. I think the fringe races and winning races are probably coming within the first couple of days. The first video is actually coming out in I think 2 minutes. It's the What Is Buggy video that was just at the end here, but the rest of the stuff will be over the next couple of days. Also, stay tuned to the YouTube channel because we'll be dropping some more Race Day videos coming up probably in the next month or so. Race Day 2021, the COVID year race. Races themselves and all of so feel free to bookmark us or follow the YouTube channel for that. And let's see, and then stay tuned because we recently acquired a boatload of some other videos. So we're looking at race days from the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, up through 2002 that we're going to be working to get onto our YouTube page, our YouTube channel. So we might do some more Race Day rewatches. But yeah, so with that, I don't know. That's all I have. We're at almost exactly the 3-hour mark here. So yeah, once again, thanks for joining us. Hope you enjoyed it. And again, the races will all be up over the course of the next week. Feel free to check out all of the information on cmubuggy.org, including the 100 Years of Buggy History write-up, which includes some more details about all the stuff that went on during 2001. And yeah, and then, stay tuned for some exciting stuff coming up this year from the Buggy Alumni Association, as well as sweepstakes and the Buggy community as a whole. So thanks for joining.